Coming at you live from the mean streets of downtown Knoxville. Why, it is Dead and Lovely, your favorite horror movie review podcast in all the known multiverse. Here with the host with the most, it's me, Downtown Uncle Ben.
And me, Hollywood Steve.
We are recording our very first episode from our new temporary apartment.
Yeah.
In Knoxville. We're right here on the mean streets.
Yeah.
It's
They are mean.
dope.
I parked a couple blocks away, and on my way here, nobody complimented me.
Oh,
mean
no,
streets.
they're very mean.
Mean.
Very, very mean. How's your commute over here? Does it beat driving out to the middle of
Yes.
the fucking country
Yes.
where I used to live?
Yes, it beats that by a bajillion. It's like my normal trip would have been get to downtown, then start to your house.
Then get to my house. Yeah.
Now
yeah.
it's get to downtown, done.
Get out of the core,
Yeah.
and you're here.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, man, we've been here for, maybe 4 days. We're still kind of unpacking. There's boxes and stuff. There's still stuff we haven't moved in yet, but this downtown life's getting pretty good to me.
It's fucking cool,
It's
man.
getting pretty
I like
good to
this
me.
apartment a lot. I love city apartments, but this one in particular, I like its setup.
Yeah, me too.
You got this great view of the street.
Plenty
all
of
the cool
natural
shit.
light.
Yeah, awesome.
I got that male strip club across the
yeah?
way from me. I watch them practice all day, every day.
Yep. You gotta practice stripping.
I think what I start doing is I go, stripper practice.
Stripper
it's called. It made sense when I said it. I think what I do is I stand in front of the window and I learn all their moves and I'm doing them too.
Yeah.
And then eventually they're going to look over and be like, we need to give that new young guy a shot.
Mm-hmm. Magic Mike 3.
Because they're also all older than me.
XX medium.
I'm 35 and they're like, give that young guy a try. They're
The
veterans.
young guy.
Yeah, exactly. I'm the new one on the
Yeah.
force, you know?
You come in, they're like, hey, rookie.
Yeah, they're like real mean. Again, mean streets.
Yeah.
Right there.
Then something happens and you have to give them your stripper badge and gun.
Dude, I hope that everything audio-wise is good here. We're pretty
be.
close to some windows near
Yeah.
a big street here, so you guys might
Yeah.
hear some like cars driving by and stuff like that.
Certainly
But,
possible.
hey, if you don't like it, we're gonna give you a 100% refund on what it costs you to listen to this episode.
Yep. You just send Scruff McGruff, Chicago, Illinois,
Yep.
60652.
Yep.
And just let him know. He'll send you. Scruff McGruff is our accountant.
Right. Yeah. Obviously. Well, it is known.
It's me, Scruff McGruff.
Dude, I gotta tell you, man, it's been pretty dope being able to just walk down the stairs, go out our door, and walk to all of our favorite restaurants and stuff like
Dude,
that.
seriously, like you can step out of here and get some of the best beer in Knoxville. You
Yeah.
can get some of the best food in Knoxville. And you don't even have to get in your car.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Well, I'll tell you,
That's what city living is.
one other little perk that I hadn't really taken into account. We walked to dinner last night, had a great meal.
Yeah.
Then we walked back here to the apartment, picked up the dog, and we walked over to Postmodern, our favorite cocktail bar
Yeah.
here downtown,
Go get a cocktail.
and we both got properly fucked up
And you don't have to worry about
because
it.
nobody had to drive home.
Yeah. Especially because you got Zora. Like,
Yeah.
on the way back, nobody's going to fuck with you, so.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
totally fine. So pretty awesome, man. It's just one of those like little perks I didn't really think about. It's like, oh yeah, nobody has to be DD when you walk.
Yeah. It's the best.
We're all D-dubs,
Yeah.
designated walkers. Dude, anytime somebody's having a big party, even if it's like at their place and I have to take, a 5-minute Uber or whatever,
Yeah. No big deal.
no big deal.
Yeah.
Kate and I can both go, get fucked up hammered if we want
Not
to,
have to worry about
and then
driving
take an
home.
Uber back.
Mm-hmm.
It's so sick. Like, just
convenient.
to put this into perspective to anybody who's listening, I have always lived way out in the fucking country.
Yeah.
And
so far away.
if you want to know how in the country we're talking, I've never lived within 40 minutes of a movie theater. Of a movie theater.
Jesus, I didn't even think about that.
Right. I mean, when you think about all the places I've lived, it's like I've always either had to drive to Knoxville or the other side of Morristown to
Yeah.
go see a fucking movie.
Wow.
I know.
Man.
So this is a quantum leap for me,
Yeah, because
man.
you were within a walk of one of the best movie theaters in Knoxville.
Yeah, absolutely so. So, like, it's cool because now it's not going to be a big production. Like, anytime we wanted to go see a movie back in the day,
it was a big deal.
Yeah, it would always be
Yeah.
like, okay, well, it's going to take us 40 minutes to get there. Movie's going to last 2.5 hours. Maybe we get something to eat afterwards, and then we drive 40 minutes back. It's like, that's your whole day.
Yeah. You've added an hour and a half of no fun time, basically.
Yeah.
And now you can just do whatever you want in that hour and a half.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, dude, we could go see a movie, walk back here, make our own food, go back out see another movie,
Yeah.
whatever.
I love city living.
Yeah, so far so good, man. I mean, I know that at some point I'm probably gonna be like, man, I just wish I had a yard to go stomp around in or whatever.
Yeah.
But honestly, I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how much yard stomping did you normally do?
Little to none.
Yeah.
Little to none. My yard stomping days are behind me, Steve. Maybe if I was a younger man, I'd have done a little bit more stomping out there.
Hey, though, maybe you didn't do yard stomping because you're supposed to stomp what you hate, and you loved your yard.
Ooh, makes you feel great.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Stomp!
Point. Just quoting some hate stomp lyrics over here.
Stomp.
Hate stomp. Do yourself a favor and look that shit up sometime.
And let's all hope it's a joke.
Yeah. Yeah, very much so. Yeah, man, it's one of those things that, like I said, I know that I'm going to miss certain things about, like, just how quiet and everything it is, living out in the country, especially when I'm making videos and shit like that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I am such a neurotic maniac when it comes to, like, anything going wrong at the house.
Yes.
Like, dude, there was one year that we went to the beach for vacation, came back, and at some point while we were gone, our air conditioning had went out.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and it was in the middle of, like, August, so the house was like 90 degrees inside.
Yeah.
Our air conditioner was broken. I think that I probably lost like 5 years off of my life. I just go into instant nuclear stress mode anytime there's, like, home repairs, bad stuff going on at the house, like a water pipe, fucking broke or whatever. I go into full meltdown, and I don't really know why.
Yeah.
So the fact that nothing here is my responsibility.
Yeah, something breaks, it's like, oh, make a phone call.
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, I think that that's going to be one of my favorite things about it. Home ownership is awesome. It's great
cool
to make it your own.
Sure.
And build up that credit and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's nice.
At the same time, it kind of fucking sucks sometimes.
Yes.
Well, we're going to try it here for a while our house is on the market and stuff. And I mean, who knows? Maybe after a couple months of this, I'm just like, no, I've got to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, maybe.
But I mean, at the same time,
I'm gonna highly doubt it.
maybe after a couple months, maybe I'm like, maybe we start looking at buying a condo instead of a house.
I would completely understand.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Check
man.
her out. Yeah.
Well, dude, in between all of this moving and shaking and pandemonium and stuff like that, we ran by a little Halloween last week.
Oh yeah,
it was Halloween was last Thursday, and we celebrated by going and handing out candy and stuff to trick-or-treaters over at our friend's place while they were taking their kid around the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And like I mentioned on last week's show, I always love doing this because I like seeing like the cool costumes. I want to see what kids think are cool. Yeah. There was about 1 million Captain Americas this year.
Yeah,
he is a real American. There's a lot of those, a lot of Transformers, a lot of Stranger Things. Like I saw a lot of 11s, which is really cool.
Our friend Holly, her little daughter dresses as 11.
Boom. Awesome.
Great
awesome costume.
Yeah.
My favorite costume that I saw all night was this kid. The kid was probably about 12 years old or so. Just went as classic nerd. Just a fucking nerd. Like, I'm talking about a nerd like the image that us kids of the 80s think
like
of.
Revenge of the Nerds type of nerd.
So had on like loafer shoes, pants with the ankles showing.
Suspenders.
Pants up real high.
Tape on the glasses. Wow.
Pocket protector with pins.
Was he proud of this, or did it look like he was like, Mom made
parents
me
put him up to it or something? I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say, honestly, because I was just like, you dressed up as an archetypal nerd. Yeah. And I fucking loved it. I was like, this is my favorite costume I've seen.
Best one.
Yeah, because I like... What I'm kind of discovering is that I really enjoy archetypal costumes.
Yeah,
like, not a licensed.
I want to see your version of that idea.
Yeah, like a couple of years ago, Kate and I were ghosts, and it was like, well, yeah, it's a ghost. I mean, it's not the ghost from The Conjuring or whatever. Right. It's just archetypal ghost. I like costumes like that.
That is interesting. I like that too.
I just wonder what kids' idea of what a nerd is now, because I mean, when we were kids, it was the kid that didn't play sports, and I wear glasses and I read books and science. Yeah, and now all that shit's cool.
And it wasn't even like a real thing either. It was like any nerd you knew wasn't like the nerds.
No.
Like
TV nerds.
I don't remember, and maybe we're just at the end of that lifespan of people being assholes to nerds, and I don't remember kids being mean to nerds in my high school.
Yeah.
In your school, how was it?
Did
your mom bully you?
Yeah, my mom was like, quit being a little dick.
You little fucking nerd. She would ask a question, you'd answer it, and then she'd like come up behind you and go, nerd.
Fucking know-it-all. And I would be like, but mommy, you made me. And she'd be like,
I didn't make you a fucking nerd.
You're 17. Quit talking like that.
Oh, mommy.
Mommy, you made me. Steve, I'd like to get a poll here
Me too.
to all these good things that have been going on this week.
This is something that Roger Miller brought us, and he also brought us some packages.
He brought us some gifts which have been left in a cabinet at our home that is on the market. I'm going back tomorrow to do some cleaning and stuff.
So
and
next
I'm gonna
episode,
get them then.
we'll open those and make a video of it or whatever, and let you guys see what he brought us.
Gift.
But this is from Saucy Brewworks, which we had some last week, some Saucy Brewwork.
And Roger explained this to us. I believe it's a one-off because it was for like a competition or something like that, right?
It's just got like a little white label on it, and it's basically, he said, a peanut butter cup as a beer.
Oh my lord! I'm very excited, to try this out. Yeah, definitely me too. I'll have to finish pouring here before I can tell you what the label says. It smells great though.
Yeah, it does.
It's called What's His Nuts?
What's His Nut?
This is from the 2019 Great American Beer Festival. I'm very excited to try this out. Saucy has not let us down.
No.
They make some quality shit.
It smells like peanut butter.
Oh my god. Yeah. It doesn't really smell like a peanut buttery beer. It smells like peanut butter.
It smells like peanut butter.
Dude. I'm excited to get a toke off of this right here. I've been enjoying some like darker beers and stuff here lately. It's that, it's getting cold and everything out here, so that's when I usually like to have some heavy duty beers. What's that do for you? Is it good?
Yes.
Holy Lord.
It tastes like a Trader Joe's dark chocolate peanut butter cup.
Yeah.
And those are my favorite.
Moly. That's exactly what that tastes like. Yeah, because it's not as like milk chocolatey sweet as like a Reese's peanut butter cup.
Oh, wow.
Dude, that tastes like dark chocolate and natural peanut butter, like unsweetened peanut butter. Mm-hmm. Dude,
I love that.
That's amazing.
I can't imagine having more than one of those in a night. It's already
It'd be heavy duty.
Pretty heavy, yeah.
It doesn't list an ABV on here. I wonder what it is.
Yeah, stuff's usually around 5 to 8.
Yeah, usually not particularly brutal. Dude, that's fantastic. Roger, you are indeed better than we deserve. I hope that everybody has watched the cocktail video that we did with Roger over on our YouTube channel. Be sure to go find that if you don't already.
The most ambitious video we've done so far, and the most fun I've had editing a video.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'd say you had about 1 million pieces.
Oh, yeah,
you
I
had all the
so
camera
much
stuff, the cell phone stuff.
Yeah, we did a bunch of still shots. We did a bunch of, Kate was getting secondary shots. I was getting secondary shots. And just some exterior shots and stuff. It was nice to be able to throw all this stuff together.
I think the video turned out really good, and those cocktails that Roger made were amazing. Be sure to go check that out, follow him, and also go see him and have him make you a drink over there at Cinema in Nashville.
That Shining drink,
it was so
fucking
good.
Yeah.
I'll let you in on a little secret too, Steve. After we made that video where we drank 3 cocktails,
I remember
and then
this.
also drank some rum afterwards.
Sure.
And then also went to Postmodern
afterwards.
I was way fucked up.
Me too. And
like
then we went
walking
to
dinner,
Stock and Barrel. Yeah.
I was fucking
Once we got there, I was
schmammered.
like, I do not want to drink.
I'll pass.
I would probably be falling out of my seat.
I think that's some of the most schmammered I've been around you.
Yeah, me too. We were both drunk as shit.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sure I've had some Halloween parties and stuff where I've gotten pretty slippery, but I was fucking destroyed that day.
I barely remembered going to Stock and Barrel.
Same.
But then I kind of came to in the midst of eating my hamburger, and I was like, man, this is so fucking good.
Yeah, it is.
I got the one you recommended. I can't remember what it's called, but it had a bunch of peppers and hot pepper sauce on it, and I got it with no bun.
No bun. Bunless. Bunless Steve Spratling, they call him.
I couldn't get the fries, and you suggested the tomato salad. I am telling you, if you come to Knoxville, Stock and Barrel fucking nails it.
Oh, yeah.
That tomato salad, I hate raw tomato.
Yes, dude.
And that tomato salad was one of the
good.
best things I've ever eaten.
I know.
It's so perfectly balanced.
Yeah, that's Kate's favorite thing. She's the one that I think discovered that one. It's so fucking good.
So good.
So, dude, you've also gotten yourself a new car.
Yeah, we bought a brand new 2013. That's what year this is.
Yeah, totally. It's new.
A brand new 2013 Subaru Forester.
The thing is, though, is to me, as a guy who drives a car from 1997,
that's for us too.
2013 is is this a hovercraft?
Yeah. When my wife, when we got together, she had the car that she recently wrecked. That was a 2005. That was the newest car I had ever driven.
I thought they quit making cars after the year 2000. What have you been up to? You been playing any video games or watching any good movies lately?
Yeah, I mentioned last week that I was near the end of Super Mario 3. I beat Super Mario 3. And then
you did it, dude.
I did it, yeah.
It's so fucking good. What a game.
It's a great game.
What a game. Did you get all the secret stuff where you can like hold down and fall behind stuff and all that?
I did do I got the whistles. I did all the warps to get to 8 quickly. And
you know the thing that you realize, though, whenever you're a kid and you're playing that game and you're like, warp whistle, it gets me to the end of the game so I can beat the game.
Yeah.
Sick. Nowadays, though, I'm like, why would I want to miss all those cool levels?
Like the giant level. Remember that?
I love the giant level.
That one you never even see if you do all the skip.
Yeah, dude, you missed the good stuff. It's about the journey.
It is,
not the destination, y'all.
Yeah, I just wanted to beat it because I never did as a kid. And then
pretty sure I beat Mario 3.
I never.
Sure.
I got to the long tank train before the castle.
Yep.
As a kid, but I didn't get past it. But this time, I just saved my P-Wing and flew the whole way through that level.
Look at you.
Look at me.
P-Winging like it ain't no thangin'.
I had some fun. Also, on Friday night, we had the old streaming chat.
Ooh, what did you guys do? That's like when I was in the heart of moving.
Yeah. We watched My Science Project, which had Fisher Stevens.
Oh, that's what it's called, My Science Project.
And it had Fisher Stevens and the main... Our second main guy from Christine.
Okay.
I didn't really follow the movie that well. It had something to do with aliens, I think.
All right, then.
But then, after that, we watched Uwe Boll's Blood Rain. And I'll tell you what.
Wait, Blood Rain. Which one is that?
It's based off a video game. I doubt you've seen it. It looks like a sci-fi movie, but it was like released in theaters.
I was thinking of, I think it's called Blood Rage or something like that. That I've seen.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Blood Rain was terrible, of course. It's a Uwe Boll movie.
Based on a video game movie, so of course it's terrible.
But the YouTube stream that we were watching, every once in a while the sound would go out, and the first time it happened, we were all like, fuck. By the second time it happened, we were like, yay! Sound went out for a while.
Oh, God.
It's horrendous.
Dude,
so bad.
Hopefully now that we're moved and things are so much less busy, I can join in on one of these and not be a party pooper like always.
That'd be fun.
You were pointing out some really horrible looking movie that we should do on one, right?
Yeah, The Last Vampire on Earth. It's a Twilight ripoff. Dave Barnett sent it to me, and it looks like... basically like some high schoolers were like, we could make Twilight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully we'll get around to doing that now that we're in the wonderful month of No Vampire.
What?
Our third annual No Vampire?
Third annual. Mm-hmm.
So basically, if you guys are new to the show, the entire month of November, all that we do is vampire-based movies. And this year we're doing it based on Patreon suggestions and a vote and all kinds of good stuff.
Yeah, so we Buffy was the one we drew from just randomly from the submissions from Patreon, and then we got 3 more that were voted on. Next week we'll be doing Interview with a Vampire.
Yeah, that's right. Woo!
Then Blade and Twilight.
Oh, dear God.
I can't wait for Twilight.
Oh, it's going to be amazing.
Here's what you guys need to buckle up, because I took a class on young adult literature in grad school, and we did Twilight.
Oh, my God.
And I'm researching Twilight like crazy.
Have you read the book?
Yes.
You've actually read the book?
Well, I skim-read the book. I went through the entire thing reading specific passages and just catching the highlights, because it's long and terrible.
I'm thinking I might audiobook that fucker.
Go for it. I see how far you can make it.
I would really love to try, actually.
Dude, I'll tell you what. The research because I'm researching Twilight like crazy, because I want that episode to not just be me shitting on it. I want you all to know how Mormon it is.
So very Mormon, huh?
Twilight is extremely Mormon.
Oh my
and if
God.
you read, I don't know, like I think they do reference the lion laying down with the lamb in the movies.
Yes, they do.
But the book is just so much more of this like religious nonsense.
Really?
Wrapped up in vampire lore. It's ridiculous.
Oh my God, man. Well, maybe I'll give that a try. And hey, while we're on the subject of the Patreon, let's go ahead and plug that now. Rather than at the end of the episode when everybody's tuning out, we got that Patreon, y'all.
Patreon.com/dead and lovely.
You guys are fantastic. You guys have given us so much support, and it's led to cool things like us buying merchandise and all kinds of things.
That is true. We got
Great
some cool
stuff.
merchandise. I wanted to go ahead and do some shout outs. Believe we haven't gotten to a couple of these.
And hey, even if we have already, let's give them some more shouts.
Yeah.
They're giving us
If we've already
$4.
shouted you out, double shout out.
Yeah, good for you.
Lorenzo Sandini.
Sandini.
Hey, Lorenzo.
Thank you so much. I love your oil.
It's my fave.
Best oil.
Lorenzo's got that
Lorenzo's
oil. Uh-huh. Justin Marion, our homeboy.
Oh, Justin Marion. Thanks, you big son of a bitch.
Yeah.
My
He's
former bunk club accomplice.
We went to high school together, Justin Marion and I. Cool
He's
guy.
just a good old boy.
He is a good old boy.
I'll tell you what is weird, though, man, is that now that I live down here, haven't seen him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like every other time, it's like we drive all the way downtown. I'd run into Justin somewhere.
Yeah, he's always
now that I
down
live
here.
here, he's gone.
Yeah, he's not interested
Too
in hanging
cool
out
for
with
school,
you.
I guess.
Austin Green.
Austin Green 16
Oh, my shit.
says, I just greened your Austin. What?
I think. What if it's Brian Austin Green, Megan
yeah?
Fox's husband,
Oh, the notorious
from
BAG.
90210? Joey Glacken.
Joey Glacken, what's up, dude?
Hey, man.
Longtime homie. Joey's a good boy.
Yeah, he is.
I don't care what people say about him. He's a good boy.
What are they saying about him?
They're saying...
Let's just suggest some things they might say about him.
Okay, they're saying penis, way too big.
Too big.
What's he doing with all that dick?
Too much dick on that guy.
They're saying his pockets are always so full of money. He's just showing off for
He's
sure.
just showing off, but he can't help it.
And the way that he makes whoever he sleeps with orgasm multiple times, it's just unheard
too
of.
much.
Too
It's
much.
too much.
Too much of a good
Too
thing.
much, Joey Glacken.
Quit giving away them O's, buddy.
Yeah. Shout out to Laura Latour.
Laura Latour.
And speaking of Latours,
those Latours are good people.
they are good people. John pointed out the other day that this is the 2-year anniversary of their ritual where they watch the movie we're covering the night before the episode comes out and
Very
then listen
nice.
to it the next day. So
Wow.
happy anniversary.
Awesome. That's a really pro move. I like
It
that.
is. George Jackson.
George Jackson.
George of the Jackson.
That's a really like kick a door down kind of name.
It
isn't
really is.
George Jackson.
Holy shit. George Jackson's here.
If I was
Watch
him,
out.
I would kick down every door that I went into and I'd go, George Jackson.
George Jackson in the house. And finally, Daniel Hearn. Thank you, Daniel.
Daniel Hearn.
Daniel Hearn.
Hearn?
Hearn.
Have you heard of that?
I heard of it.
He should have a podcast that's called Have You Ever Heard of That?
Daniel,
know?
start it.
Yeah. I just started listening to this record called Pinkerton by
Well, yeah,
Weezer.
I-
you ever heard of that? You know?
That does sound like a backwoods country something. Somebody was
You ever heard
You
of
ever
that?
heard of that? I've forgotten to mention this so many times, but there's a podcast out there now called Koreatown Pillow Fort.
Oh, based on
My old Koreatown Pillow Fort. Yeah,
Wow.
he had emailed us and asked if he could use it as a title. I was like, please. So go check it out.
Well, the problem is right now, though, is that the original podcast, Koreatown Pillow Fart, is really mad at
They're
him.
real mad at him. That
Yeah.
that's an NPR podcast.
It is, yeah.
Koreatown Pillow Fart.
And they fart into pillows. And they're really
They
mad.
quietly talk about it.
They think that he's trying to capitalize on their success.
Oh, that fart. That's very interesting.
I find the acoustics of this downy feather pillow that I'm using to really complement the fart sounds.
The aroma as it mixes with the down is almost wild.
It's very wild. It's very earthy. I'm getting hints of loam, fresh tilled earth.
Yeah.
Koreatown Pillow Fart.
Koreatown Pillow Fart.
Very awesome, man. Well, Steve, the subject of our show today is one Buffy.
Buffy, Phoebe Buffy, the Vampire Slayer.
Wait, the what?
The Vampire Slayer.
Yeah, I watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah.
It was a pornography.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was making sure we were on
Rutger
board.
Hauer was in that one too.
Yeah, he was.
And he didn't know what was going on there either, it didn't seem.
He was improvising all of his lines. No, that was Donald Sutherland.
Yeah.
More on that in a second.
More on that, yeah.
Which, of course, is a movie that was brought to us by one Joss Whedon.
Yeah.
Who we talked about recently on our Cabin in the Woods episode. He is a pop culture icon, and he's also known for writing himself a strong, independent female.
That's true. He's been known for that since
right.
the beginning
Yeah.
when he started on Roseanne. So the guy writes good female characters, and this is one of his earliest shots at that.
And I think that before we get into the review ski of that film, Steve, I really want to know, considering that he crafts such fine and strong heroines, I just wonder if there's somebody out there who could tell us which Joss Whedon heroine we are. I wonder if we could do that as we slide on into the Preview Palace.
Welcome to the Preview Palace.
Do you know anybody who could tell us which one we would be?
A few names come to mind immediately, though. Keely Flaherty.
Okay, Keely
Flaherty.
Is she one of them witches of Samhain?
She is. She's gonna pull the ultimate practical
with
joke.
the look of the Irish.
The look of the Irish.
All right, we're going to take this quiz on BuzzFeed and find out which one we are. Steve, I got a question for you. The world is ending. What will you do?
Okay.
I got to give you some choices here. We're all holograms.
Okay.
Get laid, damn it.
Gotcha.
Flip out. Seriously? Grab your gun and find who's responsible. Stop it, obvi.
Okay.
Hit the books. This can be stopped. That's the Hermione solution.
Yeah.
Party. You can't take it with you. Try to find peace with your fate or spend the remaining time with loved ones. Aww.
Party. You can't take it with you.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Why not have yourself a damn good time?
I mean, if you find out the world's ending, yeah, you can hit the books, but what if the world ends while you're hitting the books? Like,
yeah.
you just waste all
Last
the time.
thing you did was read when you could be partying.
Can you imagine that?
Come on. Yeah, I think I'm gonna party too. But you know what? I'm gonna change this up here, and I'm gonna say spend the remaining time with loved ones.
Yeah.
Because
you're partying.
All of my loved ones have tons of bourbon and guns.
Yep.
So it seems like a pretty safe place to be.
Hey, Ben. It's Friday night.
Friday.
Where are you?
I'm downtown, bitch.
Ow.
I'm
downtown,
it was
bitch.
a little hostile.
Yeah.
It was a little hostile.
Out with your friends at your local bar.
That probably, yeah.
Doing laundry.
Laundry.
Or landry, whatever.
Laundry.
Clubbing. You're into strobe lights.
Oh, I thought it meant like seals.
Oh.
I'm gonna go out clubbing.
That doesn't sound fun for a Friday night. Making tea and watching Netflix. Oh. Enjoying a quiet night in with friends.
Quiet night. God, I'm not ready for Christmas. Fuck.
Time is relative. Days are false.
Ooh, wow.
Wow.
That's very
Studying.
good.
You're smarter than people think. Playing in a kickball tournament. Okay. Coffee shop. Nose in your Kindle.
I'm definitely going to be out with my friends at a local bar, especially now that I live in a town where there's tons of bars and all my friends.
Yeah.
Woo! I might be
over
on
the place.
stage playing, but I'll be there.
Yeah, maybe. Friday night. Where am I? Usually, my wife is at work on Friday nights. So
Streaming chat's not an option. Well, although there's a Netflix.
I was going to say making tea and watching Netflix, but the tea's alcoholic.
It's alcohol tea. It's the anti-Mormon.
You're at a bar and some guy buys you a drink.
Oh, Lord of mercy.
Whoa.
Thank you, sir. Woo.
You get flustered and awkwardly thank
Oh,
him.
thank you, sir.
Politely accept and then ignore him.
Thank you, but I'm not gay, I'll say. That sounds really mean.
That does.
No, don't do that.
Flip your hair and coldly
Ooh,
decline.
I do have flippable hair.
That's true.
Yeah.
Kill him with your brain.
Like a headbutt?
Yeah.
Guy buys you a drink, headbutt.
That sounds like an Irish thank you.
Yeah, I think so.
Flirt with him. All right. Yeah, okay. Hit on the girl next to him. But that is all right. Chug it and leave.
Wow.
Cock an eyebrow and walk away.
Ooh, sassy, hard to get.
Accept and strike up a conversation.
You know, if this is me, I'm going to accept and strike up a conversation and probably not realize that somebody thinks that I'm gay and is hitting on me. I am...
You have zero gaydar.
I have zero gaydar. I have zero flirtdar. I have had so many times where I've come home from like a show or whatever, and I'll be telling Kate like, oh yeah, you know, and afterwards like this chick, blah blah blah, and buy me a drink and whatever, and she's like, she was flirting with you. I'm like, no, she was just rubbing her hands through my hair and buying me cocktails, and I'm oblivious. I'm fucking oblivious, dude. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if I'll ever start learning how to like realize. You know,
what does it matter? You're married.
Well, but it matters to me because I don't want to seem like a cock tease to somebody,
right.
or for somebody to think like I'm trying to flirt on chicks even though I'm married and stuff.
Yeah, that is unkind. I think.
I just think it's being nice. Like, to
Yeah.
me, it's one of those deals where, again, it all goes back to homeschool.
Mhm.
I didn't go to high school. I didn't go to middle school. I don't understand the politics of flirting. I just see it as, like, being nice to somebody you meet out in public. I don't know.
Yeah, I get it. It's like a nice, innocent, naive sort of way of approaching the world.
I think
Which
so.
sometimes might hurt some feelings, but I don't know, man. I don't think you're doing too much wrong. I think everybody's figuring out pretty quickly, like, oh, he doesn't get it.
Do you think it'd be better if, like, I led with, "Hi, I'm Ben. Here's my penis"? Would it be
Yes.
better if I didn't lead with that?
Yeah, that's probably an issue.
Oh.
Because when you show people your penis, normally that's like an invitation.
Oh.
I mean,
I'm asking for it, is what you're saying. Wearing those clothes that I wear.
Well, yeah, a little bit. Yeah, Dick out is asking for it.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right then. All right, so what are you gonna do when some guy buys you a drink, Mr. Expert?
Hit on the girl next to him.
Yeah. All right, Steve. Hell is blank. Got a couple options here. Other people, malicious people, injustice,
Yeah,
betrayal,
yeah.
not being in control of your own life,
Mm-hmm.
boredom, feeling helpless, political repression, or being alone.
Oh man. Well, I mean, political repression is hell, but I think at the root of political repression is malicious people. So hell is malicious people.
Okay, that makes sense. For me, it's boredom. The minute that I get bored, fuck, my world starts coming unglued, man.
Yeah.
That's where I get my mopes on. Nothing good happens. But I've not been bored in fucking years.
Yeah, I was gonna
so-
say, like, I don't really get bored much anymore. And I'm trying to remember the last time I was really bored.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do get antsy when I'm bored.
Oh, yeah.
Where when I can't think of anything to do, it's just like I sort of pace back and forth, talk to myself a lot. It's weird.
Yeah.
Your BFF calls at 3 a.m. sobbing.
Oh, no.
You know BFF, I'm a loner.
You know BFF.
You know
I'm a
BFF.
loner. That makes no grammatical sense at all.
No, it doesn't. Phones are problematic. Okay? You're busy, but you'll call back ASAP. Drop everything and go to them. Don't pick up. Too much drama.
Oh, man.
Tell them to relax and call them in the morning. Get excited. You love some juicy drama.
Give me a slice of that drama.
Talk them down and go back to sleep. Listen and give advice.
You know what? I'm gonna be Mr. Sensitive here and listen and give advice.
Yeah.
If advice needs to be given, I mean, sometimes people aren't looking for advice and they just want to
Yeah.
talk. That's fine too. But I will totally lend a helping hand and an ear of comfort to a friend calling me
Mm-hmm.
3 a.m.
I don't think any of the other answers other than listen and give advice work for me. Man,
Drop
everything
and
go to them.
Yeah, pretty
Sure.
much same
Yeah.
thing. All right, Steve, pick a flick. Finding
All right.
Nemo, Kill Bill, Raiders of the Lost Ark, The Graduate, Kissing Jessica Stein.
I don't know that movie.
Yeah. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Breakfast at Tiffany's. Oh, this is cheating. This is the Harry
The
Potter
entire
collection.
Harry Potter series.
Yeah. Or Pretty Woman. What do you pick?
I'm gonna go with Indiana Jones.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
going Indy?
Yeah. There's some good ones there. The Graduate's a great movie. Kill Bill. Finding Nemo's fun.
Yeah,
But
it is.
yeah, Indiana Jones, I think.
Kill Bill for me, dude. I have watched that movie so many times, and I just don't get tired of it.
No, I
It's
don't either.
just so fucking fantastic. That's also one of the only movies I have ever seen in a theater by myself.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
It might be the only one. I'm trying
Yeah.
to think of any other movies I've seen in the
A lot
theater
of
by
people
myself.
feel weird going to a movie by themselves or
I
going to
don't.
a
It was-
restaurant by themselves.
It
Like,
was fine by me.
I enjoy it. I have a
Yeah.
lot of fun. All is fair in love and war. True or false? Well,
Oh.
hold on. There are 9 answers to a true or false. Okay.
Yeah, what?
False. People are mostly good. You can't compare love and war. Neither. People are just people. Neither. I try to always stay positive. False. Nothing is fair. Sad but true.
You know it's sad but true. Yeah.
False. Nothing is that black and white. False. I've seen enough to know. We're all specks of dust.
Wow. Got super like nihilistic at
It
the end.
really
didn't it?
did.
I'm just saying neither. People are just people. People's is people's, man.
That's true.
That's a moral that we all gotta know.
Neither. I always try to stay positive. I do.
Yeah.
I always try to assume the best, but my brain also assumes the worst, so it's a constant battle. It's fun.
All right, we're nearing the end of the quiz here. Pick a dress. I'm more of a jeans girl.
I am a jeans girl.
Long and slinky. Big, pink, and poofy. Anything metallic and shiny. Black is just a protective shell. Anything with pockets. Anything I can dance in. Or something tasteful and modest.
I mean, if I was wearing a dress, I would want it to have pockets.
Yeah,
Anything
totally.
with pockets.
Yeah. How do chicks be holding their stuff without a pocket?
I don't know. Well, I mean, yeah, that's exactly why I would want it to happen. It's like, because I always think, like, I would hate to have to carry a purse because it's another thing you have to keep up with, another thing in your hands. Like,
Hard pass. You know what? I have worn a dress many a time in my day.
I've worn a few.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen you in drag.
Yeah. It was, I think, high school or college was probably the last time.
Yeah?
Yeah, for Halloween or something.
Did you wear yourself something dapper and dashing and sexy?
In high school, I wore one of my girlfriend's dresses and her tops, and the top was like a belly shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't think to like bring other clothes to school.
Lord.
And about halfway through, I was like, this is embarrassing.
This was a mistake.
Yeah, I'm doing math in a crop top.
There's this one year for Halloween that Kate and I went as lesbians.
Uh-huh.
And she was more of a rough and tumble butch lesbian.
I mean,
And
honestly,
I obviously was the lipstick.
Of the two of you, she would be.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I wore a dashing, just sensual red dress.
Yeah. I remember this.
Yeah. Apparently, dude, Kate said that, like, I was like, at the fucking snack table getting some food or whatever with my back turned to the room. She was standing right next to some guys that were like, who's this fucking piece of ass over here? And there's a red dress. And I like turned around. And it's like, oh, yeah. I think at that time I still had like the mustache goatee combination that I wasn't letting go of.
That was when you were future Ben in the past.
Surprise. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. What the hell? So I'm going to go with a long and slinky. That feels good to me.
All right.
Last one.
Pick a weapon.
Wow.
A ballpoint pen.
The pen is mightier than the sword.
The pen is mightier.
Pen is mightier.
Looks like a brain in a jar. I assume it's supposed to be your own brain.
Okay.
A sword. It's a bastard sword there, so just so you know.
Don't
Looks
assume.
Like perfect. Oh, it's true.
That sword could have parents.
It's true. It might have parents.
That sword had a family.
Looks like perfume. I'm not sure how that's a weapon.
Yeah, maybe holy water. I don't know.
Maybe.
But it looks like perfume.
It does. A wrench.
Oh.
Looks like a little revolver there.
Pistola.
A crucifix. Crossbow. Or a candle.
Huh.
Maybe flame is the weapon.
Yeah. These are
Come on, Keely.
pretty bad weapons. I mean, really, like,
get it together, won't you, Keely?
You know, the brain in the jar is really confusing to me because I'm thinking, like, if it's my brain and it's in a jar, then
how's that helpful?
I am dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, my body is not going to be able to do anything with it.
Maybe it's their brain.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're using their own brain against them. Of course, you've already killed them by removing their brain, so don't know why you need it as a weapon.
That's true. But that means they're already dead.
Yeah. Yay!
I win. I have your brain in a jar. I win.
So the weapon is the jar. The brain
so,
is
yeah.
just to show what it's for.
Yeah,
this is for the jar you put a brain in.
I'm going to go with that big old bastardo sword. I'm going to go with something that has an unlimited ammo supply.
Yeah.
Seems resourceful.
It does. It does. I would think it really depends on what you're up against, but the sword's probably the best way to go if you're fighting like zombies or something. If you're fighting vampires, you're going to need that crucifix. Fuck. I'm going to go with the revolver.
Okay.
Let's shoot
Strong
somebody
choice.
with a revolver.
You can shoot a silver bullet out of that thing. You can do a zombie headshot with that. It's a good call. All right, we got our results in here.
I did.
Who are you, Steve?
I'm Zoe. Zoe Washburn.
The fuck? Me too.
How is that fucking
We answered everything differently.
Keely, you, Irish, what's and such.
Yeah, your owls are back, and the results are bad.
Oh, wow.
Very bad wizarding levels.
What's a bad grade in England? What do they say?
Do they go like U, like unsatisfactory?
Probably.
Or something like that?
You've gotten a U, haven't you?
Oi.
Oi over there, isn't it? So you.
Yeah, they do something different, though, that's like, did not pass, you know, to show that you failed.
I mean, in the books, I'm not sure if Harry Potter, I would imagine they follow similar grading structure, but exceeds expectations was like the highest, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember what the lowest was. Was it just fail?
A for abysmal.
A for abysmal.
I think that's what it is.
Okay.
Pretty sure that's right. Well, damn. What's the description that it gives us for apparently?
Oh, right. Yeah.
what
Let's
we
read
are?
about Zoe.
That's the chick
in case
from, is that a Firefly?
Firefly, Aaron Serenity, yeah. She's awesome. Okay, you're a pistol. You have zero time for liars and needless drama.
Hell no.
You're driven, goal-oriented, and have excellent judgment. All this is true, right?
This is true of both of us.
If there's a conflict, you know how to deal with it diplomatically without wasting time. You're also quick as a whip and extremely loyal to... You know what? Extremely loyal to your close circle of loved ones.
I'm gonna
That's
say,
pretty
yeah.
true of both of us. I don't know how she figured it out.
Yeah, I mean, we answered everything completely differently, but she saw the real us.
Keely knows.
Yeah.
Luck of the Irish.
Now, Steve, I'm going to assume that this is not the first time that you've watched
it's
Buffy
not.
the Vampire Slayer.
I remember renting it probably 93 or 92. Whenever it came out on video. I remember back then it would take a long time for stuff to come out on video.
Yeah, it would.
So it was probably 93. But yeah, I remember seeing the previews for it and being excited. It looked really cool. At the time, I watched 90210. So Luke Perry was a draw.
What a hunk.
But also Pee Wee Herman was in it.
Oh, yeah.
A.K.A. Paul Rubin.
Right.
So, that was mostly what it was. Especially because I remember in the preview, they showed him doing something particularly funny, but I don't remember what it was. But I remember being like, that looks funny. I'm a kid.
So did you like it when you were a little Steve?
Yeah.
I'm little Steve, and I like this movie.
This is fun.
I'm little Stevie, but not the one that plays in Bruce Springsteen's band.
No, not that little Stevie.
That's not the same as me.
No, I cannot play an instrument.
So whenever I saw this movie for the first time was probably in college years, I think. I had never seen this. And this is one that Kate watches every year. So it was new to me whenever I watched it for the first time. Okay. And I've always thought it was just a good, silly movie.
Yeah, it's a silly movie.
Yeah, I mean, goofy. If you're hardcore about vampire lore.
This isn't for you.
No.
It's not deep on the lore.
And I saw a lot of bad reviews on it and stuff that are it's campy and corny, and it's
but
that's kind of the point.
That is kind of the point.
Yeah, so I think some people might have just been looking for something else. I mean, maybe they were looking for more like what they got out of the TV show. Yeah,
well, that is definitely what Joss Whedon wanted, but it was also campy and corny. So the campy and corny would have been there no matter what.
Okay.
Joss Whedon loves camp and corn.
Well, let's go ahead and knock out that TV series here as we get into this.
Yeah, let's talk about that a bit.
Because I've never really watched it. I've watched half of an episode or two here and there because Kate's been watching it lately. That is the most I've ever seen of it. But it seems like it's a lot less, I'll put it this way. It seems like Buffy is a lot less ditzy and less of the Valley Girl.
She's much more capable, which is how Joss Whedon originally wrote it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So he didn't originally write Buffy as being clueless.
Yeah.
Oh.
She still would have had that sort of Valley Girl thing going on, but she wouldn't have been as ditzy. It really... Some of this stuff got away from Joss Whedon because this was real early in his career. This was his first feature that he had written. He had been working on Roseanne, and a little before this, he had worked on the movie Parenthood with Steve Martin, which was turned into a television series in 2010, had previously been tried to be turned into a television series in 1990.
Oh.
And actually, even then, got amazing reviews. It was just people didn't watch it. But he worked on Roseanne and then worked on that. And while working on those things, he wrote this. And somehow along the way, Luke Perry ended up getting attached to it. And Dolly Parton's production company, Sand Dollar Productions, bought it.
Hello, Dolly.
So we get to talk about Saint Dolly.
It's a distant connection I did not know existed.
Yeah.
That Dolly Parton had something to do with the making of this fucking movie.
And that's when you hear it though, it's well, of course she did. Of course, Dolly Parton saw a movie starring a badass woman and was
it's got a blonde badass female. I'm on board, honey.
Because she is one of them.
Yeah, totally, man.
So he got this out there, and they got Fran Rubel Kazooie to direct this. She had done...
That's a silly name.
Yeah.
Rubel Kazooie.
She had done something, I think called Tokyo, something like that in 88, which was an independent movie, but got a lot of buzz about it. And so this was a lot of people kind of first dipping their toes into the movie game, because Dolly's production company hadn't been around that long, and this is Joss Whedon's first shot. This is Fran Rubel-Kazui's first shot at a big time movie. A lot of the people in this movie, such as Hilary Swank,
Ben Affleck.
It's their first movie role. Ben Affleck is in this movie. Seth Green, you see his back. Ricky Lake is in this movie.
Yeah, Ricky Lake is in here. What the fuck,
and
man?
this is just a couple of years before she got her show. I did not know this.
What?
Ricky Lake's talk show, she was 24 years old when she started that talk show. That is insane.
That's a kid.
Yeah. And it's a kid-ass kid. It's like a little baby.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
So yeah, like it's just this huge group of people just starting out. Luke Perry, he had become popular, but he's still, this is early in his career. I'd like to talk more about the cast, but first I want to get into just basically what happened.
Well, I'm sure that Joss had this idea and everything went exactly according to plan, and he was very happy about how the entire thing went.
Yep, Joss Whedon had basically no clout in Hollywood, and he had written a Joss Whedon script, so it's full of this sort of like dark, wry humor, self-referential, funny stuff, the stuff we love from Joss Whedon. But the Hollywood executives didn't find it funny.
Well, I mean, you got to think, though, dude. It's like Joss Whedon is who he is now.
Yeah, but then
this was 1992. So it was probably like 90 or 91 when he was pitching this thing. I mean, that's very far ahead of the curve.
Like, just getting the movie made was enough for him, I imagine. But they basically changed a ton about his script. And then also, veteran actor Donald Sutherland refused to say the lines that he'd written and basically improvised everything.
Not that you can tell. You can tell.
Totally tell. Because Donald Sutherland's character is so disconnected, disjointed.
It's like he's in some other movie.
Yeah,
it
really is.
After you told me that, I went back and I was like, yeah, you can definitely get that out of his performance. Because like as I was watching the movie last night and I rewatched it again this morning, I was like, what the fuck movie is this guy in?
Yeah.
It's the one that he's making up.
But you can you can see it from his perspective as someone who's very well established at this point. This is 92. He's extremely well established as an actor.
Donald Sutherland.
Yeah, fucking Donald Sutherland. He probably saw this as an opportunity to go and do something, fun, to really just go for something weird. And Joss Whedon isn't Joss Whedon at this point. So saying, I'm not going to say this guy's lines is basically just a big timing move. Like, well, I don't have to. I'm Donald Sutherland. I can do whatever I want. I imagine if he had it back, if he knew where Joss Whedon would end up.
He just had the fucking lines.
Yeah, because Joss Whedon was not happy with Donald Sutherland, and I highly doubt he'd ever work with him again. So,
oh, shit.
Yeah.
So it led to, like, big-ass
Yeah, Joss Whedon left the set and never came back. Like,
no way.
Just refused to come back. Because he didn't have to be there. He was just on as, like, an advisory role, so he was just like, fuck it. I'm not... There's no reason for me to be there while they're destroying everything I tried to make.
At that point, it's like clearly nobody respects his vision of what he was originally trying to make here, so fuck it. I'm out.
Joss Whedon's not happy with the final product here because he's so invested in it.
Yeah.
I think we can still enjoy our movie. Like, we can still say, and Buffy's fun, while also saying Joss Whedon, I think, did it better with the TV series.
Yeah.
I think he made a better, stronger character. His original script had more lore to it and was more rooted in like trying to establish a world.
Yeah, this is just like there's a few crappy flashbacks and I don't know, this is just how it works.
Yeah, whatever. It's basically like, you know what vampires are, here we go.
Yeah.
Which is fine, actually.
I mean, not knowing that this is not how he intended it to be made.
Doesn't
it's just
matter.
Like, yeah, it's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah. But, you know how it is. I mean, whenever you have any like creative project that's your baby and then somebody else gets a hold of it and mangles it.
Yeah, you can
see is the stuff that isn't what you envisioned, you know?
Yeah.
So, it has to suck.
Now, this is interesting. I read about. So, the Kazui's,
Banjo-Kazooie for N64.
Fran Rubel-Kazooie's husband is a partner with her in their production company.
Okay.
They have some ownership of the Buffy title or something.
Oh, like of the IP?
They're planning a reboot that is unrelated to the TV show.
Seriously?
Yeah.
As a movie or a series?
I'm not sure, but I believe it was supposed to be a series. And I'm not sure if it's actually still on, because it was a few years ago that they were talking about it. But can you imagine that? A world in which there are 2 Buffy the Vampire Slayer series. That title is just so specific. Like, if you say Star Trek, it's like, well, yeah, they're a Star Trek Voyager, there's Star Trek, like, Next Generation, etc. But to say specifically Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the name of the main character.
Just one person.
Yeah. There were already 6... Well, actually, there are more than 6 seasons of Buffy, I think. There are already so many seasons of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the show. You're going to come in and be like, forget all that. Here's our rendition based off of the 1992 movie.
Hey, but enough about Spider-Man. Moving up. They're going to do it into the Buffyverse.
Into the Buffyverse.
That's what they're going to do soon.
That would be interesting.
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
Be all right.
Christy Swanson talking about how great Brett Kavanaugh is.
Fuck me, dude.
Christy Swanson is a Fox News contributing Republican piece of shit.
Why did that have to come out just as we're doing this movie?
Yeah.
You know?
When I say Republican piece of shit, I don't mean all Republicans are pieces of shit. I mean she's a Republican piece of shit. Yeah.
I couldn't believe that, dude. I saw that shit where, yeah, she was talking about how it's the women's fault and all this fucking crazy, stupid shit.
I loved her logic. Her logic was women can do anything they want. They can run for president. They can do all this. So why are these women being victims? And it's like, they didn't choose to be sexually assaulted. That's the problem,
That's the problem here.
That's our issue. What the fuck are you talking about?
God, it's so stupid, man.
But she's on Fox News a lot now.
Really?
Yeah, it's one of those things like Kevin Sorbo and Dean Cain. Like, if you are no longer famous, but you really just can't give up that spotlight, just start spouting out bullshit Republican shit, and they will put you on TV in an instant.
Elect you as president.
Here's my fucking issue. Fox News and all their fucking bullshit. They say that Hollywood's full of those liberal elites, etc. Blah blah blah. The second that an actor says I'm conservative, they jump on it.
Oh, yeah.
They are star fuckers to the fucking core. So what are they talking about?
Well, and everybody that puts up that same old shit about, like, oh, musicians and actors should stay out of politics, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It's because you
disagree with them.
I was going to say, you only say that when you're not agreeing with what they're saying.
Yeah, if it's Ted Nugent and you're like, hey, let's go rape some teenagers. Yeah, you're probably going to be happy with him.
Yeah. It's only when you disagree, man.
Pieces of shit. Anyway... just so you know, next time any Republican starts talking about Hollywood, liberal, blah, 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 just remind them that 2 actors have become president. Both were Republicans.
Republican, yeah. Y'all voted for 2 of them. So.
I can also think of another actor in relation to a president. It was the one that killed Abraham Lincoln. Oh, he was a Republican. No, he fucking wasn't. He was Republican in name. He was a liberal.
Yeah.
Assholes.
Oh,
they're just full of shit. The thing that really fucking irritates me, because this is why I'm so irritated by it, is because I watched Christy Swanson in a few of those, and I never watch Fox News, even to be mad at it.
Oh, yeah, no.
So I was watching this just to see, like, okay, why is she on Fox News? They're bad faith actors. They think that we're concerned about things as a ruse to make money. So we're concerned about the environment because we want to make money off of it. We're concerned about migrant children because we want to make money off of it.
Oh, you're saying we as, like, liberal people.
Liberals.
Got it.
But they're projecting that onto us because they know that's how they think.
It's like, no, it's because I care.
Yeah, I don't want the world to burn.
You want to give Bono all your money.
How much money are you getting for this? I'm not getting shit. I'm not getting anything to not want the world to burn.
Yeah, trying to bail us all out here.
No, there's an agenda. There's an agenda.
The liberal agenda.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
anyway,
dude.
Sorry for the political. I wouldn't
get off that soapbox. Get off of there.
This never would have gotten political had it not been for the fact that Christy Swanson is so, like, she is on Fox News a lot now. Like, just doing my research, I was like, wait, what the fuck? Like, she is so into this. But again, it's like Kevin Sorbo and Dean Cain, like, just that, like, you're not popular. You never really were that popular. Kevin Sorbo, Hercules, Dean Cain. So Dean Cain and Christy Swanson were putting on a pro-Trump play, and then they canceled it.
What?
Yeah, they canceled it and said that they got death threats. Now, let me tell you what probably happened. Nobody bought tickets. So
I would like to think so.
They pretended like liberals were threatening to kill them.
Yeah.
Like we give a shit if you put on your pro-Trump play.
Yeah.
Like, nobody is going to go there and get persuaded. Nobody's like on the fence and then like, oh,
this play really pushed me over the edge with Dean Cain.
You know
and
where
Christy
I get
Swanson.
most of my political ideas?
Plays.
Yeah. Anyway,
Plays with washed up actors.
yeah. So anyway,
did Christy Swanson do a lot of other stuff after this?
She
This
did
is
The
kind of all I know
Getaway.
her from. I know that.
That was with Charlie Sheen. It's also got Flea and Anthony Kiedis,
Oh shit!
and was there were some rewrites done by Joss Whedon on that.
Oh wow! Small world.
But I can't think of much else she's in. She kind of fell out by mid-90s. She wasn't exactly popular.
I think she's very good and very charming in this.
I think so,
and she's
too.
obviously gorgeous in this
Yeah,
movie
she's very
too.
pretty.
But I just find that she is very charming on screen.
Yeah.
Like I would like to see more movies with her
Yeah,
in it from this time period. You know?
I would say that watch The Getaway. You might like it. I haven't
Okay.
seen it since the 90s, but I remember enjoying it. It's
And-
basically just like a race on the interstate in LA. Like they're in a car most of the time, but
Okay.
it's fun. It's got some good action to it.
Well, let's talk about the character of Buffy here a little bit too while we're on the subject of her, because she is at first very clearly just a ditzy, obsessed with shopping, blonde, valley girl kind of character. But later on in the movie, she actually is a very strong,
Yeah.
independent female character. Like she
Yeah.
really doesn't need anybody to do the work for her. She
And
doesn't have anybody bending over backwards to be like, let me help you, you're a woman. Like,
Right.
she lives in this world where she's a badass and all the other male characters and other female characters recognize it and just let her rack shop.
And she they do enough exposition to explain basically that what they're uncovering is past lives. Like she has all this knowledge from these past lives.
Yeah.
So it explains how quick she sort of catches on to everything. So you never really question it. They got a good enough montage.
But enough about Rey from these new Star Wars movies. We're talking about Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Let's get back in here.
Let's talk about Luke Skywalker in the first Star Wars
You
movie.
get some pretty quick, y'all.
Yeah,
You
and
get
like
some pretty
everybody's like,
fast.
oh, he went to Dagobah. Yeah, but before that, he was wearing a helmet on his head and blocking lasers with a fucking lightsaber
Yeah.
within moments of learning about the Force.
What's the Force now? Okay,
Yeah.
I guess I can do this.
Yeah, but yeah, like that little bit is enough to make the exposition just like okay, and then
It's
the
fine.
montage
Yeah.
is like fine
For a
fine.
movie this light, sure, it's totally fine.
The one thing I actually would say the montage could have added, and I think would have added some good humor to it, is her purchasing all those training outfits. Like they should have had in the montage her at the mall buying all those different training, because
Yeah.
every single scene she's in a different training outfit.
That's
and you know she
true.
probably didn't own those before.
yeah, I need to look for my kickboxing. I need to look for my tumbling.
Yeah.
That would
That would have been like a
worked.
funny sort of like interlude in the montage, just her shopping.
But she
Because it
is-
would go with her.
She is a badass, though.
She really is.
You know,
Yeah.
and they don't really make it into this like I don't know, and this might be a weird way to put it, but especially here, like in the early '90s, where this was kind of before it was pretty normal to have strong female characters and stuff in pop culture movies and everything. They don't go out of the way to make her like a total femme Nazi,
No.
or like just ball crusher or anything like
Though
that. You know,
I would say there's definitely humor in here that when we look back on it, we're not like there is like her friends seem to dislike her because she becomes that. Her like there is some conflict with her and guys. Like when she runs out onto the basketball court, they're like, "There's a girl on the basketball court."
Yeah.
like it's the craziest goddamn thing anybody's ever seen.
oh yeah.
Yeah, there's a little bit, but the thing is that in '92 we would have caught it more, whereas now we're like we just sort of brush it off because it's like, yeah, that's stupid. Nobody thinks that way.
She steals a guy's motorcycle and
Oh, God.
isn't called a thief.
Nope, he calls her a dyke. Calls her a dyke and says he's gonna tell the world.
You don't even like men.
I'm just here
Also,
he goes.
You just stole my $15,000 motorcycle.
Right, that's an issue.
Thief.
Yeah, thief.
Thief is the
That's
first thing I
issue.
would call.
I just imagine that guy the next day, he's talking to somebody, and he's like, that blonde girl who stole my bike, she's a lesbian.
Well, what blonde girl?
The one who stole my bike. So the other night, this blonde girl stole my bike.
I don't know how you know about her sexual preferences based on the fact that
She's totally a lesbian. Spread it around. The world's gonna know about this.
But you don't even know who she is. How can you tell the world?
Just tell people a blonde girl is a lesbian.
How is that exactly going to ruin her life? How is this you getting revenge? I mean, it's...
I'm just frustrated, okay? She stole my motorcycle.
She didn't pay attention to me.
That would have been funnier.
Yeah.
If instead of him doing that, being like, oh, she stole my motorcycle. A lot of the lines by men in this are just like, that's garbage. You're a garbage person. Her boyfriend is an asshole.
That guy sucks.
He
I don't
sucks a
understand
lot.
if we're supposed to like him or not.
I don't think we're supposed to like her friends in the end. I think we're like she learning that they're vapid and they don't care about actual real world issues.
There's several characters, and we'll get to them when we get there, but there's several characters in this movie where you're like, am I supposed to like this character or not?
Yeah. I don't think we're supposed to like Hilary Swank. I think she's supposed to, because, she does that thing with the leather jacket where she's like, that's so 5 minutes ago, then she buys it.
Yeah.
I think she's supposed to be seen as like sort of conniving and not exactly cool.
Well, that's okay, though, because at the end of the movie, Principal Stephen Root smashes her head against a brick wall.
Hey, sure enough.
He does that.
Stephen Root, I want to talk about Stephen Root real quick. I didn't know this. Stephen Root's first acting role, he was 36.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Late bloomer,
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I had no idea. Fucking Milton from The Office Space.
So again, if you're out there thinking, I want to get into acting, but I'm 25, I'll never make it. Try.
Yes, Stephen Root got in when he was young and handsome.
Yeah, that's exactly my point. Exactly my point. Stephen Root, he looks like Stephen Root. He's one of the best character actors in the
best.
goddamn
He's
world.
awesome. Yeah, he's had
But
many memorable
He's not
roles.
Brad Pitt, and he didn't start in his 20s. Like, the idea that people have about Hollywood, that you have to be this beautiful, ever teenage type of person to get into movies. It's like, watch a movie. Look at the people.
Plenty of people.
There's plenty of people who
That aren't
don't
models.
look like that.
Yeah, and that
it's
aren't fucking 17.
Exactly. It's about talent in a lot of ways. I mean, yeah, it's going to be harder, especially for women if you're older. Though there are tons of older women in roles. Like, actually, I say tons. There are tons of older men in roles, and there's half a ton of older women in roles. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, that's awesome. Stephen Root, this is one of his earliest roles. It's like he started in the late 80s.
I like his character in this.
He's great. Yeah, he's so good. He's just good in everything. You put that man into any role, and he's going to nail it.
There's this like thing that's in so many 90s and 80s movies where it's like, if you're the principal of a school, it's more than just your job. It's like your whole identity is
that's
I'm the principal.
who you are.
You don't clock out ever. Is that how real principals are?
I hope not.
I mean, you were around more than I was.
Yeah.
I had principal dad.
I really hope not. I would hope not. Though I do know that teachers and administrators will, if they see students out in the real world, they carry their authority. Like, they're still like, hey, stop that, or whatever.
No running in the halls.
And for some reason, if you say fuck you to them out in the real world, you get in trouble in school. And it's
come
like,
on.
yeah, I don't get that. I don't get a lot. Like, I don't get how you can post something on social media and get in trouble at school. It's not their fucking business.
Nah.
What does that have to do with them? Well, how can you do something outside of school and get in trouble for it in school? I just don't get it.
Yeah.
But I do get it when you read, I don't know, the Panopticon, and you realize that all of the state institutions are set up like prisons, and it's really just a way of imprisoning our minds.
Oh.
And maybe you avoided that by being homeschooled.
Hell yeah. I did it.
I
broke the chains.
The idea of authority is just like that. That is so much of what school is swallowing authority. So the principal characters I see in like the 80s and 90s seem to be like, they carry that, but they seem to be always the butt of the joke, where it's like, it's almost like, okay, I'm out of high school now that I'm writing a principal character. I realize, like, why did I ever listen to this guy? He's just some asshole, like 30-something-year-old who was in charge of kids. Like,
well, and they show Stephen Root as like thinking he has all this experience. He's like, I saw stuff like this in Nam, and then he's like, well, I'll watch Platoon.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I think a lot of writers were maybe reacting to that, just like showing these how ridiculous they were. But then you also have the Back to the Future principle where it's just like full on authoritarian, but like they're never disrespectful of his authoritarianism. Like he just is who he is. So I don't know. I prefer the Stephen Root, Jeffrey Jones. But Jeffrey Jones in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Like I prefer that sort of butt of the joke principle. That's funnier to me. Seymour Skinner from The Simpsons.
Oh yeah,
those are much more fun.
All right. What do you think about Luke Perry in this movie and his character? I never watched a 90210, so I don't have any kind of like bias towards him.
I like Luke Perry. I watched 90210 at the time.
How do you like him as an early age alcoholic that hangs out with high schoolers?
He's kind of really flat in this. He doesn't really provide much, and he wanted to do the movie, so like I guess that was how he read the role. Like he thought that was how it's supposed to be.
How old is he supposed to be?
I think he's supposed to be just a year or two out of high school.
Yeah?
Because like it seems like the high school kids all know him. So,
he's
like,
definitely an alcoholic already.
Yes. Yeah.
So
for sure.
Is somebody like buying him booze or what?
Well, I mean,
I assume he's in his 20s.
As somebody who drank a lot before I was 20.
Where there's a will,
it's really
there's
not
a way.
hard to get booze. Yeah.
If you want it, you're gonna get it.
Yeah. So Luke Perry, I just wanted to talk a little bit about him because he died this year.
Yeah, R.I.P.,
people
man.
should know this about Luke Perry. Luke Perry auditioned for 256 acting jobs before he landed a role.
He's one of those people I just would have assumed he got a job because he was a hunk.
Nope. Just hard-working dude. 256 auditions.
Wow, that is a lot.
He's a good-looking dude. By the time he was on 90210, at one point, he went to a fan meetup thing, and there was a riot. There were so many women there screaming and going crazy. There ended up being a riot, and they had to cancel it immediately. Like Beatlemania. So can you imagine going from 256 failed auditions, still having the integrity to just keep going to auditions, and then 2 years later, there's a riot of people trying to see you?
That's insane.
It had to be a real tough transition.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that his laid back and low key personality kind of helped him through it, but it also is what kind of led him to, I think, shy away from it. Because after 90210, he did stuff, but it was just like it seemed to go for smaller roles and less like flashy things. I think maybe, I mean, you have fans. They're a lot sometimes, right? Like,
sure, yeah.
It can be tough to keep up with everything. Imagine a riot because you walk into a mall. Like,
it'd be pretty intense.
Yeah,
it'd be pretty fucking intense.
So I think maybe in this he wanted to go low key because it was just like, I don't want to be the star of this movie. I don't want like all the attention in the movie. I want to be the guy who's like just I help the main character.
Well, let me look at it. Let me try to make you look at it this way too. So I was watching some like of the little behind the scenes stuff that they have about this movie last night on YouTube. And I think the way you could explain away the flatness of his character, and also maybe part of why he did the role and stuff like that, in his own words, he said that he loves this character in this movie because he is the damsel in distress.
He is. Yeah.
And oftentimes in these movies where we have a big, tough, male character that's rescuing a damsel, she's usually just a pretty face, and that's all there is to the character.
Oh, so yeah, that's kind of how he plays it.
Yeah, he's just
I'm a pretty face.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I got this gig because I'm a hunk, and my character doesn't need to have anything to it because I ultimately just get rescued by a woman and kick a little bit of ass, but mostly just get rescued by her. You notice that scene, like, towards the end of the movie, whenever the vampires, like, bust into the prom, like, she steps in front of him, and he's, like, behind her. Like, he is absolutely a damsel in distress in this movie with an awesome fashion sense. Am I right? Man.
He looks like a hobo dressed in. Like a homeless person who wanted to get into fashion design was like, I found this in the trash. We'll put that on
unbuttoned Henley. Some fucking oh shit, what is that stuff? Like thermal underwear?
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
His hair too, because like
got that Clooney cut.
Yeah, well, but 2 years before Clooney had it. This is
okay. I get it. He's a time traveler, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm saying Luke Perry traveled through time. He didn't die at a young age. He just traveled into the future.
My God.
Yeah. This guy, Luke Perry, though, I'm saying, like, I think, you're right. He took this role because he gets to be backup. And he doesn't have his Dylan hair. He has this, like, just Caesar cut that's kind of limp and not really, like, no product in it or anything. He's going opposite of 90210. He's getting to not be the center of attention.
And his superpower in this is he's the master of all machines. He can conjure up any vehicle at any time.
Yeah, 2 different motorcycles, a van, just whatever.
Whatever, man. Mm-hmm. He's like Aquaman to cars.
He summons them. To me, motorcycles.
My favorite thing about Luke Perry is the way that his name plays into my favorite pastime, the name game.
Yeah.
Me and a couple friends of mine have had this long-going thing where you either make up a name and or find a Facebook profile of a person that really has this name.
Yeah.
And what you do is you reverse the first letters or first consonant sounds of their first and last name. So Luke Perry, you get Puke Larry.
Puke Larry.
Just good old Puke Larry. But I'm going to tell you what, Steve, the fun doesn't stop there because
it doesn't. Tell me more.
In my pursuits of ultimate name game winners, and I'll reveal to you the champion of the name game. I found Dennis Pick, old Pennistick. One of my favorites, Mr. Rick Diggs.
Dick Riggs.
Dick Riggs. What you know about Kirk Jacques?
Sure, cock. Old cock.
But I'll tell you what, one of my friends here that's really tough to hang around, roughhouse a little bit, Fanny Tristan.
Tranny
fisting. Look out. But you can always go and hang out with this guy and just have a real low-key good time. What you know about Nick Lutz?
Lick nuts. Aw.
As I'm naming these off, I'm showing Steve real Facebook profiles
these are real
of people with
people.
These names. But this guy,
if you're listening, we're making fun of you.
Real pain in the ass.
Real bitch.
Bill Rich. More like real bitch. So we've been playing the name game for years and years and years.
Yeah, Puke Larry is a great one.
Puke Larry's good. The ultimate champion, if you want to know of who won the name game.
Who it is.
If you want to know who won the name game, it's motherfucking Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie with their daughter, if I recall, Shiloh Pitt.
Pilo shit. Holy shit.
That's the kid's actual name.
That's a bad name.
Pilo shit.
Oh, Pilo shit.
Shiloh Pitt, y'all. It's right there. They won the game.
Yeah. Wow. You think they were playing the game? They're like,
Nobody will
I know Brad Pitt smokes a lot of weed.
Yeah,
so,
does he?
Yeah.
He might have.
He might have done
that. There's no
yeah.
way you couldn't think of it. I don't see that name and not immediately go, oh, Pilo shit.
Yeah.
They had to know. They had to know.
Let's get into the rest of the cast, Ben.
All right, what about a Donald, I make up my own line, Sutherland?
Love Donald Sutherland. He's so fucking good.
Yeah, he's
great. Not great.
What
in
movie
this
is he
season,
in?
He's in a
this?
different movie, yeah.
For one, he's creepy as fuck.
Very creepy.
All the time, just like lurking around the lockers of girls' high school, like fucking change rooms and stuff in the gym.
Very strange.
Like, what the fuck? So that one scene wherever she's already like established her connection with him and stuff, and rather than just meeting her in like a reasonable place, he's in the locker room.
Yeah, hey, what's
up? And
up?
she's like, hey, this is a naked place. She just happened to walk in the room. He peeps around from behind a locker. How long had he been in that fucking locker room?
How many other people had he peeped on? Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Be like, whoops, not her. Just saw some 14-year-old.
There's another way of seeing this movie through the eyes of Donald Sutherland as an 80s slasher.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Like, everywhere he ends up is where a slasher would go.
What if he was just completely full of shit the whole time and is just like, maybe if I just tell some little girl she's a vampire killer or something like that, I can stalk her and follow around and You won't be surprised that I'm in the locker room and shit like that.
When he throws that knife at her, like, what was his plan if she didn't? Because
Well, just kill the girl. Yeah, you're right.
I just stalked and killed a teenager.
How many other girls had failed the test up to that point? Like, what if the whole movie there would have been like newspaper clippings of like another girl found with knife in head, and you're like, what the fuck's going on? There's some kind of weird murder subplot.
Knife in head murderer.
Yeah. Turns out it's just Donald Sutherland trying to find Buffy.
Trying to figure out where Buffy is. Also, he trains her. He is terrible at fighting vampires.
He's awful. Yeah.
Awful at it. So why does she need him to train her?
Clearly she does not.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, Donald Sutherland's character doesn't make a whole lot of sense and probably could have been basically removed in some way. Like, she could have gotten the knowledge that she is what she is some other way. A book. Maybe Lothos finds her.
Right, yeah. Well, because he's obviously in pursuit of her and stuff, too. Yeah, you probably could have written the Donald Sutherland character out.
And because she seems to have, like, knowledge from her past lives, the training goes real quick. Yeah. So, like, she could have trained herself. She's already, like, an athlete, so we could have had the montages without Donald Sutherland being creepy in the corner.
I think that his wardrobe looks like it was gathered up from, like, maybe 5 different people's closets.
Yeah.
It looks like a community theater outfit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it looks like the outfit of somebody that would be on stage at, like, the Rose Center.
Uh-huh.
Also, here's another thing I just want to put out there. Anytime in a movie that somebody wants to be undercover and inconspicuous.
Gotta wear a trench coat.
Trench coat, hat, gloves. What could make you more conspicuous?
Yeah, if I saw that, I'd be like, what the fuck is Carmen Sandiego doing over there?
Yeah, dude, like, I'm out here watching through the windows, all these people on the streets of Knoxville and stuff out here. If I ever saw one person wearing that outfit, I'd be like, he's fucking up to something.
He's up to something for sure.
He's doing something.
Yeah, he's either going to a Halloween party dressed as a creep, or he's a creep.
And dude, like, the fact that he's not even wearing like Italian leather, like, driving gloves. It looks like he's wearing like leather work gloves from Lowe's.
Yeah, it does.
It looks like your mom put together a detective costume. It's like, we got some of your dad's old work gloves in here. These'll work. I seen them just like this in a movie with Donald Sutherland.
Y'all seen that? Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I love it. Rutger Hauer's in this. Also, R.I.P.
Fuck yeah! Oh my god, dude. Fucking
also,
Blade Runner, man.
We're in the future right now.
Oh yeah, this is post Blade Runner.
But we're in a post Blade Runner world.
You're right. Hey, remember back in Blade Runner times last week?
Oh wow, yeah, that was crazy.
Wild stuff, man.
All those replicants running around.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
Pretty crazy stuff.
Glad we fixed it.
Rutger Hauer in this vampire with a mustache.
That's it.
Vampire with a mustache.
He doesn't seem to be in this movie either. He
I'm sorry,
seems to be in a different movie.
I love Rutger Hauer.
I do too.
Obviously, we all do.
Yeah.
I never would look at him and go, that's who I would pick to be a vampire.
Yeah.
He
wearing
doesn't
dark red lipstick.
Yeah, with like his like flesh-colored hair and skin-colored mustache.
Yeah,
and
that mustache just...
He just does not look like a fucking vampire to me. He doesn't have that like suaveness, that kind of like effeminate nature that a lot of vampires have.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know about that casting.
Isn't it weird? I mean, as we're talking about the cast, isn't it weird that the protagonist of the movie, the main character, Christy Swanson, has probably had the worst career of everybody in this movie?
Yeah, really? Right? Yeah,
like everything
all the
just
other side
fell
characters.
off, where everybody else, like, this is the beginning for them.
Yeah. Huh. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah, Rutger Hauer in this, though, he does play a mean fiddle with gloves on. That's an electric violin, I guess.
You couldn't play a violin with those gloves on either.
Fuck, no, your intonation would be shot to shit.
And yeah, that violin, like, why would he have this, like, plexiglass electric... Like, he's been around since the Middle Ages. He would have a much better violin, I would imagine.
I should think. He should have a Stradivarius.
A Stradivarius,
or something like that, man. Yeah.
With some catgut strings.
And he's also, like, not a sexy vampire to me at all.
No, he's not. Know? He's like an old, like, an elderly gentleman who used to be handsome vampire.
Yeah.
Like, he got bitten past the handsome point.
Dude, wouldn't that just be so fucking annoying?
That would be the worst.
Like, let's say you get up there and you're like, I'm 75 years old.
And
everything
then boom,
hurts.
vampired.
Yeah, like all my muscles are all droopy and I got crow's feet and all this stuff. I'm bald. And then you get bit by the vampire. It'd be like, fucking hell.
Where were you in my 20s?
Yeah, seriously. Where were you like fucking 50 years ago?
Okay, what year would you want to be frozen at?
Probably around 25.
25?
Yeah. I think around like 25 or so. I think
it's probably when I had the most energy. Never really felt much pain or anything.
No,
Yeah.
And I still had a ton of thick, luscious locks.
You still do that.
Thank you. I had even more.
Oh, okay.
I maybe had an excess back then.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I used to share. I had a hair sharing program in my community.
You have some hair?
Hair for you. You get hair. You get hair. But when you get changed into a vampire,
it fixes those things.
I was going to say, do those ailments get fixed? Or is it just like you have to deal with them forever? What's the statute of limitations? What if like you?
What's the statute of limitations on vampire?
Yeah, like what if you went to Iraq and you stepped on a landmine and you lost a leg, and then you get bit by a vampire? Does the leg come back? Or is it basically like miracle rules, like how God doesn't fix fucking amputees, but he'll miraculously cure an illness?
Right.
Is it God rules?
Like, okay, so, all right, so let's say a vampire gets just destroyed by bullets on all sides, regular bullets.
Okay, yeah.
All sides. Just tons and tons of soldiers shooting from all sides. At what point does it cease to have any like actual consistency as still a thing and still get to like there's I'm just saying, if you burnt a vampire entirely, how does it survive?
How much vampire has to be left?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we've seen Deadpool fucking regrow his head.
Yeah, Deadpool can do.
Not that he's a vampire, but if we're talking healing factors, I mean, fucking Weapon X, Wolverine, he's had his shit torn apart.
Yeah.
It's hard to say.
So yeah, with that healing factor idea, basically it doesn't make any sense that Paul Rubens loses an arm and doesn't get it back.
Oh, yeah, because he does, right? Yeah, he loses his arm and it never comes back. So they do play God rules.
I guess so.
Yeah, so I guess if you have a disease or an injury, that will be healed. But if you lose a part of you, you're out of luck.
It's just gone.
I guess so.
I always want... Okay, so like, all right. You cut off the very tip of your finger. Yeah. It'll grow back.
Ouch.
Like just a little bitty tip. Just that little bit of skin.
It'll come back.
It'll come back. It'll grow back.
Yeah.
How far back do you have to go before it won't grow back?
Point of no return.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
What is the midpoint where it's like, nope, not going to grow back?
You should practice and find out on your dick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't have a lot of practicing room there, but I'll make do.
Not a generous practice space, really. I have to break out the micrometers to view my progress.
Well, I assume I'd have to do that anyway. I mean, if we really want to figure out, pull out the tiniest little micrometer. Yeah.
My favorite thing with Rutger Hauer in this is that scene where Buffy like goes to sleep and she has that dream and it's like all grayish.
Yeah.
And like she like falls into bed and he's like behind her. Mm-hmm. That to me is a really well shot. Like
that was.
What movie is this?
Yeah, it
from?
reminded me of Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Yeah, it's like really artsy and stuff. I like that shot a lot. But other than that, a lot of the stuff that he does in this, like his whole get up and his whole like that first appearance where he's like floating in the air and he like unfurls his cape. Yeah. It's all very like Universal Monsters.
Yeah, nothing special about it.
Yeah. I don't know. Not my favorite vampire of all time, Lothos.
No, not even really an interesting vampire, honestly.
Not really.
The vampire that steals the show, of course, is Paul Rubens.
Rubens, man.
Yeah. He steals the entire show. He's the funniest part of the movie.
Without a doubt.
He's
a nice person. He has never done anything
I'm
bad.
sure he is a nice person. And he has done some things that people would say are bad, and I would say, well, jerking off in a movie theater is kind of the expectation.
Well, specifically a porn theater, not just like he was watching fucking
he wasn't watching Bambi and jerking off. Yeah.
Die, Mom. Now that would be very warped.
That would be crazy. But researching this brought me across some really sad truth about life.
I didn't know about any of this.
So, in 2002, Paul Rubens' home was raided by the FBI, and they pulled out a whole bunch of child porn.
Here's I didn't hear about this.
Let's get even deeper into it. He ended up being charged with a misdemeanor and not really much happening. The very next day,
child pornography is a very fucking serious.
Well, yeah, we'll
bother.
talk about the detail of that in just a second. But
Yikes.
The very next day is when they raided Jeffrey Jones's house.
Ooh.
Jeffrey Jones and Paul Rubens are friends.
Ooh.
So
you're saying like part of this whole Hollywood pedophile ring thing?
Perhaps. And the fact that they both were charged with misdemeanors and got like just a little bit of probation, and they both made movies after. And fucking Jeffrey Jones. I didn't even know this. I watched Deadwood years after it came out.
Yeah.
I thought it must have been before the child porn stuff.
Child porn.
They hired Jeffrey Jones 2 years after the child porn stuff.
The way that we are so flippant in the entertainment industry and stuff about people that are found to be child fuckers and predatory fuckers, and then they still get work afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I'm talking about like if you get fired for coming into work stoned,
you might never
work again.
Yeah, you might have to go work for like a construction company that will just hire anybody.
Yeah, but these guys get away with having child pornography and literally fucking
and
kids.
Still having careers.
I mean, fucking Jeepers Creepers, man. Victor Salva. It's like,
yeah.
fuck, man. I think that we should take that offense as seriously as humanly fucking possible.
Yeah. The Me Too movement, first off, seems to have died down a little, and I don't
that didn't last very long.
Yeah, I don't like that. And it never really embraced all the actual issue of child molesting. Never really embraced the fact that Bryan Singer is a child molester.
Oh, dude, everybody knows. Yeah,
everybody knows. Still making movies, still walking around free. Okay, so the specifics on the Paul Rubens case are, and I will try my best to give a defense attorney explanation, and then also what I think is probably true. Paul Rubens, he collects vintage erotica.
Okay.
So some of those vintage erotica magazines from back in the day would have had teenage boys posing in muscle poses, because a lot of those were like they would be called muscle magazines, but they were really they were for dudes to jerk off looking at muscular men.
Yeah.
So a teen boy in that technically wouldn't be making pornography at the time. It wouldn't, but it is obviously for that reason.
The ancient Greeks used to fuck 10-year-old boys.
Yes, they did.
That doesn't make it right now.
Doesn't make it right.
No.
So it is possible, and this was an explanation given, that he buys those in bulk. He'll hear of an estate sale where there's a bunch of them, and he'll just buy them. And that he had no idea those were in there.
Whoopsie daisy.
The fact that the next day his friend Jeffrey Jones was arrested
Seems
and
incriminating.
found to have hired a 14-year-old boy and made child porn with him seems almost like Paul Rubens may have said, like, hey, guys, I know a worse pedophile.
Plea bargain, it's called.
Yeah. But neither one of them got any real bad
No, I mean,
trouble.
we watched a new Pee Wee Herman special on fucking Netflix last year.
Yeah.
Yikes. People should give a shit when people be fucking kids, Steve.
Yes.
People should give a shit.
Isn't it crazy to have to say that?
It's really crazy to have to say that.
Crazy.
This should matter.
Why do we have to say Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself? We all know it.
We all know.
We all know that Jeffrey Epstein had an island where politicians, rich, famous people all went and fucked children.
His plane was called the Lolita Express.
Yep. They would go and they would fuck children, and names on that list include Donald Trump and Bill Clinton. And I, as a liberal,
wait, did you just slander a Democrat and a Republican? That's impossible.
Yeah, fuck them. Fuck Bill Clinton.
Fuck all
fuck
of them.
every one of you. You fucking kids. I don't give a shit what your politics are. Also, fuck Bill Clinton any goddamn way. He was a fucking Republican in the first place.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, but seriously, I don't give a shit. Why can't we put politics aside and say fucking kids is bad, and anybody that does it shouldn't be fucking
regardless
president?
Of what team you're on.
Yes.
Yeah, it's all loathsome.
Yeah.
Fucking people, dude.
So Paul Rubens is the best part of this movie, but then researching it made him the worst part of the movie.
Yeah, it's kind of tough because like I was watching this and I was like, man, he's really good. Yeah. And then you come over and you tell me all this stuff and I'm like, I hate that.
I do want to believe. I do really truly want to believe that he bought a bunch of stuff in an estate sale.
It could happen.
They came in raiding him because they found out he bought that stuff and they knew that person was a pedophile or something, and then they raid him, and then maybe he's like, listen, that's not me at all. I know a guy who is that way. You could go check him out.
That seems.
But if you know like a guy who is that way and you're his friend,
you're that way.
Also a piece of shit. Yeah. It doesn't matter if you molest kids. If you know someone's molesting kids and you're like, he's my friend. I molest kids.
You're a piece of shit.
You're a piece of shit.
But Paul Rubens in this is fantastic, and dude, his death scene in this is what really sold me on this movie the first time that I watched it. Is it really?
Yeah, he improvised. Yeah.
And then even in the end credits, he's still ooh.
Yeah,
he's fucking hilarious.
He's great. Hilarious. So I want to believe the best of him, but
I don't.
There's no evidence.
Kill him a lot.
Yeah, kill him a lot.
Okay, so what about, let's see, we got a whole bunch of other people in
Hilary
this movie.
Swank,
Hilary Swank is in here.
Her first film, she would go on to win 2 Academy Awards, and you don't see her in a whole lot now. She and Jeffrey Dean Morgan are married. He's a hunk.
Yeah?
Yeah. He's the guy who played Negan on Walking Dead.
That guy. Yeah, I know you're talking about. Yeah.
But she won 2 Academy Awards, like, pretty close together. Boys Don't Cry and $1 Million Baby.
She's a badass.
She's a
fucking
full-on
actor,
badass,
man.
yeah.
And even in this, it's like, yeah, she's just a ditzy dumbass in this movie, but she really commits to the role very well.
Yeah, you can tell she's a good actress immediately.
Yeah, she's very believable as that ditz. We've also got the Punisher in this movie, Tom Jane.
Yeah,
Tom
Jane is in this,
and he's in here for like 2 lines.
2 lines, yep.
But he's in here.
He's in here. Other no line or 2 line people, Ben Affleck.
Ben fucking Affleck.
Yeah. This is just a period where, like, these people, because we know them now, we look back and go, all these people are in this one movie, but at the time, they were nobodies.
We have an Arquette in this fucking movie.
We have 2 Arquettes. 2 Arquettes.
It's
David
infested
Arquette,
with Arquettes.
Honestly, David, aside from Paul Rubens, David Arquette and Luke Perry together is the second best bit in the movie.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
because they're funny
Arquette
together.
Is awesome.
Yeah,
he's really, really funny.
And this is early in his career too.
He's got that Salem's Lot moment where he floats up to the window and stuff.
Yeah.
Very obvious homage.
Are you on something? That's really funny, Joe. I like that.
Yeah,
you're on something.
There's that one moment later on in the movie where there's some terrible ADR with him, where he's like attacking Luke Perry. He's like, "What's the line he says?" He's like, "Put up a fight, man," or something like that. The ADR is not even remotely close. I'm assuming it's because he probably couldn't talk through the prosthetic teeth.
Yeah, that seemed to be a problem because what's his name?
It's always a problem with
the one
movies.
Basketball player, Sasha. I don't remember his character name.
The guy that gets real
Sasha
like
something.
Bat-like.
He's in Dazed and Confused and a bunch of other stuff. He, you can tell that all of his lines are ADR because the fangs are too big.
Oh yeah.
When he's talking, he would be like slobbering and shit. Who else do we have?
We got a Seth Green's back in here.
Seth Green's?
The other Arquette, too.
Oh, yeah. So Alexis Arquette is in this. At the time, Alex Arquette.
As the fucking DJ.
And does the best vampire performance in the movie. Because Alexis Arquette was like, vampires are fucking ghouls and creatures. So and the other people are just acting like teenagers with fangs. Like, he's acting like a goddamn ghoul.
Let's talk about this while we're on the subject of the way that Arquette acted as a vampire. There doesn't seem to have been any point where they all sat down and talked about
What's our vampire?
What's a vampire? Yeah. Because, okay, you've got...
They're all different.
You've got Rutger Hauer, which is like classical count vampire.
He doesn't have like the weird ears.
That's
like
what
the
I'm
rest
saying.
Of them.
Neither does, like, Paul Rubens doesn't either, does he?
I don't think so.
But then some of them, like the basketball player, get these weird bat-like features, like the pointy ears and stuff. Some of them have the whole, I'm constantly going...
Yeah.
Is that just something that you do when you just become a vampire? But like by the time you get to be Rutger Hauer's age, you're pretty over it.
It's cool. Let's go. Hey, relax, okay?
Yeah. Understate.
Play the violin. Maybe seduce.
Yeah.
Then bite the shit out of them.
You don't have to be doing the fang thing literally all the time. I know it's new to you,
and it's pretty fun. It's like when the first time you get to play with a real gun. It's like, oh, you can slide it, you can cock it.
I was thinking you're gonna go with first time you discover your penis.
Like the first time you discover your penis, you're like, what if I do this?
What if I knock the microphone off the table?
Is it every human's, like, does every human end up masturbating because they bumped into something?
Has to be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
or
I leaned
like,
up against the dryer.
Yeah, and it was like, whoa.
Oh, my funny places.
Yeah. I think that's it. Yeah.
Do you think that before the invention of dryers, a lot of people never discovered masturbating?
Whoa. No, masturbation's always been a thing.
Oh.
It used to be a normal thing until the Kellogg guy came along.
Oh, Kellogg.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Masturbation. You should have cornflakes instead.
All marketing.
A non-delicious cereal.
That'll cure you.
Yeah. What else?
But there's no logic really to the way that the vampires in this act behave.
No, they're all over the place.
The first ones that we see rise from the dead out of graves like zombies.
Yeah.
Right.
What were they doing in the grave?
I know. Like, Donald Sutherland takes her to the graveyard and awaits for the guy to pop up out of the grave. So in this world, a vampire kills you, and then I guess a week later you come back. Like, there isn't the quick turn, you're bitten, now you're infected with vampirism.
David Arquette turned immediately, basically.
Yeah. So why did these people, like, rise from the grave like they're in fucking the Thriller video?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, they don't. The lore is really all over the place. And they don't get much into it. Well, basically, what we see is that they can seduce, but only one of them seems to do it.
Oh yeah,
they mostly just hiss.
Yeah.
Apparently, they don't show up on photographs, which we talked about before, and while Kate was here, and. My issue is, what I assume they were thinking was an SLR camera uses a mirror. But you actually only use the mirror for the viewfinder. You're not actually using the mirror.
Yeah, the mirror is not taking the photo. You
click
couldn't see it in the viewfinder.
Right.
But you could see it in the photograph.
The click you hear is the mirror moving out of the way so that the light can get to the film.
Yeah.
So no mirrors involved. But then Kate pointed out silver nitrate film, which is what they probably would have been using in 92.
Right.
Silver is actually the issue with mirrors with vampires. The
That's
reason
why you can't see a vampire in a mirror and so on.
Because mirrors used to only be made of silver, and silver like turns
repels
the undead.
Evil spirits and stuff. Yeah. Well, but that being said, that means a vampire could look at its reflection in a pond of water then.
Sure. Yeah, a vampire has a reflection, just not in silver.
So like a polished piece of brass.
Yeah. But now now in vampire movies where the lore goes to, like, they can't be seen in a mirror, what I really want to know what the science is to that.
Yeah,
like,
really.
Why can't they see this?
You could definitely take a photo of a vampire with a digital camera.
Yeah, absolutely. No problem.
Yeah, there's no mirror or silver involved there.
None whatsoever. So, vampire lore is...
Fuzzy at
best. Yeah, it really is. You really do have to I mean, because, like, you know, people really diss on Twilight for the sparkly vampire thing, but vampires in the original sort of idea, they were meant to stand out. I mean, that's something we see in Bram Stoker's Dracula that they really went for, that as actually in the novel Dracula, is that he sticks out. Like, he stands out. He's
soaks up all the
exceptional.
attention in the room.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's something that you don't see as much in vampire movies anymore. They don't go for that. So when Twilight makes a sparkly vampire, yeah, I get you're upset about it. But it's rooted in old vampire lore. It's not that odd for them to be able to walk in the day. I mean, Gary Oldman walks in the day. And again, in the novel Dracula, he walks during the day.
Right. Yeah. All that other.
They're just
stuff
not as
is
strong during the day.
That's the deal. Yeah, they don't have their full maximum powers.
Yeah.
Now, some of the characters in this that really amused me the most, aside from our main cast here. Okay, Buffy's parents. I guess it's her dad and stepmom are just like ultimate yuppies.
There's a lot of making fun of California in this. Southern California is the butt of a lot of the jokes, and yeah, they're these like LA type of people, always on the go, always doing something, bright
super
colors,
materialistic.
super materialistic.
There's that scene where Buffy gets home at like 1 a.m. She's like, "Would you look at the time?"
Mm-hmm.
She points at her watch. She's like, "My watch died. What a piece of shit." Like,
Yeah.
She's not at all concerned about the fact that her daughter was out late.
Yeah, this
that her
lack of
watch
concern
died.
for your children or whatever, the hippie sort of parenting style of letting them figure it out.
Yeah. And then, speaking of hippies, there's that fucking basketball coach that I guess is like read every Deepak Chopra book 100 times or something.
He outwardly looks like Pat Riley, but he's actually... Fuck.
You mean Rat Piley?
Yeah, Rat
Piley.
Rat Piley. But his coaching philosophy is Phil Jackson.
Phil Jackson.
Yeah, Phil Jackson. I believe the book that started him on what became his philosophy that made him such a winning fucking coach was Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He read that
really
and he really got into like Zen and that type of like focus and really like taking your mind out of the world and becoming this like very capable of dealing with all the chaos in front of you because you inwardly are at peace. And it fucking worked. He won, a ton of titles for the Chicago Bulls and for the Lakers. So this movie's making fun of that in some ways, but it's also making fun of the self-esteem movement at the time because he's like basically trying to
actualize. Yeah.
So he's basically just the butt of a bunch of jokes. Where basically, like if you were watching this in Knoxville in 1992, you'd be like, "That's how they are out there in California.
Bunch of Yankees out west.
They tell you nice stuff. Ain't that weird?
They help you achieve your goals. How dumb.
How dumb. I hate them."
There's that one part in during the game where he's standing on the sidelines and with his hands he's making this pyramid symbol.
Triangle, yeah.
That he's like looking through. And earlier, on his little chart, he had like the all-seeing eye and like the male and female symbols and infinity and
it's Phil Jackson, the triangle defense or triangle offense, whatever. I don't know much about basketball, but yeah.
That's what that was
Yeah,
about.
it's all Phil Jackson. They're making fun of Phil Jackson with just making him look like Pat Riley. So 2 basketball coaches who were popular at the time.
Well, all right then.
Yeah, but Pat Riley was more of the like fucking yell and scream and not zen like Phil Jackson. But
Gotcha.
Phil Jackson just looks like some old dude. So like, how do you make him outwardly look like a basketball coach? You slick back his hair.
There you go.
Yeah.
That'll do it. Let me ask you something about Lothos, our big bad in this movie. Lothos, Rutger Hauer. Was he really all that bad? Like, did he have some big plan to like, and then I'll murder all the children?
This is a perfectly valid question because I believe halfway through the movie, they thought the same thing on the production. Because up to this point, you're like, all right, whatever. And then he's like, gonna eat a cat.
You got to give him something to do to make us not like him.
Okay, he's a bad guy because he eats cat.
Got it.
But also, Alf was popular around this time, and he ate cats. So
that's
again,
true. That's true.
Maybe he's from Melmac, but I think they had to do that because there's no other point where he becomes the villain.
No,
like he's just against our protagonist, so we know he's the antagonist, but he never does anything villainous.
No, not really. He just seems like he wants to stay alive and eat a little bit.
So this is I'm going to write the sequel to Save the Cat and call it Eat the Cat.
Ooh.
This is how you write your villains. They have to have their Eat the Cat moment, so you know they're a villain.
What do you think about him showing up at the end of the movie with a fucking like katana sword?
That was insane.
What? Where did that fucking come from? That's one of those things I did not see coming.
Yeah. Like a lot of this actually, because like the camp and the cheese, and then the fact that a lot of this doesn't make sense, they all blend together to make it fine.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. Yeah.
Yeah, because if it were serious and those things are happening, it would be like, what the fuck? But because it's so campy and cheesy, it's like, yeah, all right, of course, yeah, whatever. But I think definitely it's because this movie's not well directed. It's not poorly directed, but it is not well directed.
It's a little bit of an identity crisis. It's
Yeah.
a little all over the map. It's a little bit of like, I feel like a lot of the movie, every little set of characters, whether it's the girls and Buffy and the vampires or the other group of like younger vampires, like everybody was kind of going their own direction.
Yeah.
I got the impression that there wasn't really a lot of like wrangling going on,
Yeah.
being like, okay, you characters are this way, you guys do this. There was more just a lot of like, just do vampire stuff. I don't know.
And that's a type of direction that can succeed very well.
Yeah, I mean, fucking Romero did that a lot. Romero just
Yeah.
trusted the actors to do their thing.
Yeah, and it could very well succeed here. I think it fails here because it seems that the moments where it does need a specific direction, they still went with the do whatever.
Yeah, totally.
But it needed somebody to come in and be like, okay, Lothos, I need you to be villainous.
I need you to fucking read these lines that I wrote, Donald Sutherland.
Yeah, please.
I
could
wrote
you-
them for
they're
a reason.
written down for a reason.
Yeah.
Because we need a consistent story here.
He does
Yeah.
so much dumb shit. There's a part in the movie where he's like chewing on a handkerchief. He's like biting it and pulling on it. You know the scene I'm talking
Yes.
about? Why?
I think it was during the...
It's where Buffy was like
Yeah.
talking to him about something or another. It's not long before he dies.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
I don't know.
But we do have that sick ass soundtrack, right? I ain't gonna eat on my heart. That's a good song, right?
Yeah, it got some CNC Music Factory, but not the songs you're thinking of.
Yeah, exactly.
The B-side to one of those songs.
And it's got Ozzy Osbourne, but
not any of those songs.
not any
No.
Party with the Animals or what the fuck ever. Like, soundtrack in this is pretty bad. It's just 90s as fuck, man.
It is. I don't like the move that movies made to having soundtracks like that. I prefer scores.
Me too.
I
Yeah.
like, sure, every once in a while you have a song. Fine, of course. Like, you're at a bar, there's going to be a song playing or whatever. But I prefer a score. I don't. I mean,
How
I
cool
guess
would it
in
be
a
though if any bar that you went into, you went in, and rather than playing like George Thorogood or Ted Nugent or something, it was a sweeping orchestral score. Like guys like shooting pool and stuff, and there's like this huge string
Braveheart's
section.
playing.
Yeah, like what would that do to the atmosphere of any given bar?
I bet it would add a lot of drama to everything.
Everything suddenly becomes increasingly
You're
more
waiting.
dramatic.
You're waiting for like 5 minutes at the bar, but instead of it just being you standing there tapping your
It's
foot, it's like Yeah. You're like- you're just looking back and forth between the bartender and each person he's talking to. Like,
Am I gonna get it or not?
To me?
Did you forget my order?
I think that would be fun.
Those like high stakes games of pool suddenly become even more intense.
I think in a comedy it works to keep, like, say, Clueless, for instance.
Yeah.
Clueless is one that has both an awesome soundtrack and the music goes with the scenes. Instead of what you get a lot, especially in the late 90s, early 2000s, is they wanted to have this band name attached to the project.
Suicide Squad.
Yes. So whatever. They'll say like, boy, we sure want Stained on our soundtrack. And then Stained makes a song and they're like, yep, cool. We'll put it in.
Fucking Maximum Overdrive with AC/DC. Fuck yeah. Only that time it worked.
Yeah, I was going to say, the opening to Maximum Overdrive makes you think you're going to watch a pretty cool movie.
Who built who?
It's pretty cool.
That
But
is
then
a
the movie just doesn't make any sense.
Crazy fucking
Of course,
movie.
the opening doesn't make sense because...
Of course, the movie doesn't make sense. What
Yeah.
the fuck are you talking about?
like the sprinklers, they take control of the sprinklers. Sprinklers are not... You shouldn't be able to take control of a sprinkler.
Not a motor.
Like what is?
We'll do
we'll
that
do that
one day.
sometime.
'cause
Maximum
There's
Overdrive.
just so fucking many questions in that movie.
But I do love it when Stephen King. That's his. He does his little cameo. He's at the ATM. Does it say "fuck you" or something?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah, overall, dude, this is a fun movie. I like that it does all the shitty like '90s Valley Girl kind of stuff.
But you know what's interesting? I did some research on the Valley Girl stuff. It started '82. We were talking about this with Frank Zappa's
My
song.
man, Frank
Yeah.
Zappa.
And then also there was the movie Valley Girl, and then Fast Times at Ridgemont High. And so the Valley Girl became like this normal thing through the 80s that would get kind of thrown into movies.
But then the thing that kind of backfired is that whenever Moon Zappa recorded her vocal and stuff on
Yeah.
Valley Girl, it was all because she was so fucking pissed off at all these dumb-ass Valley Girl kids. And
And
then,
she was making fun of them.
Yeah, but then through the success of that and then the movie, it's like people are like, what a cool way to talk.
Yeah.
And it spread.
And the fact is that it was never actually a widespread way people talked until the movies picked it up.
Yeah.
Now, the one thing that comes from that era that I think survived no matter what is the use of like.
Mm-hmm.
But that actually wasn't a Valley Girl thing anyway. So most of the Valley Girl speech was made up for movies, and the majority of it has never been said by human beings in a real context. Gag me with a spoon?
Yeah.
Who's ever said that?
A lot of people now.
But yeah, it's really funny to base that in this entire idea that influenced 80s to 90s cinema, gave us Clueless, one of the best comedies of all time.
Yeah, fantastic.
Not one of the funniest comedies of all time. It's funny, but it's just such a great put together movie. That was like, I think, the height, the very apex of Valley Girl, but also it made sense. Except for one thing in Clueless. She isn't from the Valley.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's kind of problematic.
Yeah. Remember, she goes to the Valley for that party and then, like, gets robbed, and then she calls Paul Rudd and says she's in the Valley. And yeah.
Huh. Not a Valley Girl. An import.
Yeah, she's just regular old California girl. Anyway.
Well, shit.
But yeah, the Valley Girl stuff, I think, adds to it, but it also subtracts from Buffy sometimes. Like, I think it would have served better to make maybe her friends the ditzy Valley Girls and her more of like she can talk to them, she can fit in with them or whatever, but maybe she's a little detached.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted some more indication that Buffy, before Donald Sutherland came along, was somewhat different.
Yeah, more than just
she's some regular girl who happens to have been reincarnated several times. Like, I feel like that would affect who she is now.
You'd think.
But, yeah. It's not a big issue, though. It's still a funny movie.
I'll tell you one thing about the movie that I did think was really great and really well done. There's two sets in the movie that I thought were really awesome. One being the set of the prom and like all the cardboard shit that they made.
Yeah, the
and just,
theme
like,
of the prom makes no sense.
No.
Hug the world. But it looked great. It looked like an actual prom.
Yeah.
Whereas like a lot of movies you see where they have a prom, it's like, oh,
yeah,
that's like a $10,000 budget prom. Sure.
Right. Yeah. But then also the amusement park. Well, it's not like an amusement park. It's like a fairground carnival kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
That has all those like crazy huge animals and like the Ferris wheel and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That all looks so cool.
It
like
did.
Somebody built all that shit. And there's a lot of detail in it. And we go back to that set a few times in the movie because that's where I guess the vampires kind of hang out.
Yeah, it's the first time we meet the vampires when David Arquette's coming through. We see Paul Rubens. And then, it goes back to it a couple more times after. But yeah, you're right.
Really cool. Really impressive.
That may have been already there.
Might have been.
I mean, because they shot in L.A. Like, there are tons of places around L.A. that it's like, that's for shooting movies. Like, that's specifically there
that's
to
where
make
they make
a
the
movie.
movies over there. You got any closing thoughts about this thing, Steve? Anything else you want to point out?
I do. Okay, so before... so when I sat down and watched this movie, I didn't do any research. I always do this. I watch the movie first before doing research, and then I'll do the research, and then I watch the movie.
Go in dry.
Yeah. When I watched it, I was like, enjoyable. Still fun.
Yeah,
Still
totally.
Did some research, watched it, felt depressed.
Yeah. Yeah, knowing that it's nothing like how its creator intended, and then fucking pedophiles. And
yeah, the pedophile part was the real rough part.
Yeah, that'll rub you the wrong way.
Yeah, because like with Luke Perry, he died young. That's sad, but it's also like, well, I've had some time to process it. It was like May when it happened. Rutger Hauer, he was older. People die.
Yeah,
but pedophilia, for some reason, not my fave. I'm just not.
I can think of a few reasons why it's not your favorite.
A big fan of it.
Yeah, not a fan.
So I would, I wish it wasn't the case.
Yeah, that's regrettable.
And because he's the best part of the movie, that kind of takes a lot from it.
Definite drag.
So it's still funny movie. Truth is, any movie you watch probably been tainted by some pedophile.
Apparently they everywhere.
Yeah. So I guess just push past it. Try to not think about it.
Whee!
Yay! So for me though, if we're ranking this movie, I think that this movie, one, it's not as good as the show. And that once you've seen the show and go back, it's disappointing. It's like, oh man, so she could have been even stronger and way cooler, but you get it. And the movie still stands alone as a funny movie. It's a little inconsistent, but it's still enjoyable. So for me, it's like, let's take some pedophile points off. 6.5.
Yeah, you know, I'm kind of right there with you, honestly. Where, again, I didn't grow up with this movie, so I don't have that childhood connection with it or anything like that. I saw it for the first time as a grown ass man, and I just enjoy it because it's just dumb and fun.
It is,
and also, again, bonus points for me. It's just so 90s as fuck. You know, I love anything.
It's so 90s.
Yeah,
that yellow leather jacket.
Oh my god, so sick.
What the fuck?
So sick, man. Yeah, everything about it is just so perfectly early 90s. And it's in California and stuff, and it's like that.
Yeah.
That to me is just
all the like neon stuff in the background. Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah, it's like what better place to have a movie than fucking California in the early 90s?
Exactly.
Yeah,
I wish that was a possibility to go back in time, not to change anything, but just to shoot a film.
Yeah. So it gets instant cool points for me for those purposes. I think that it's funny. I think the fact that the lore is kind of all over the place doesn't really matter that much
it's not
to
a
me.
big deal.
You know, I don't think this thing was ever trying to paint itself as like a serious contribution to vampire mythos.
The opening is Monster Squad-esque, which kind of sets up like this is supposed to be funny.
Yeah,
like,
I think
supposed
so.
to be laughing. Yeah.
Also, Rutger Hauer's fake beard and stuff in flashbacks is just pathetic. It just looks like a bunch of pubes just glued to his face. It looks awful. But yeah, I do enjoy this movie, and it's also pretty short, so, you know.
Yeah, hour 25.
It doesn't overstay its welcome or anything like that. I do want to go through and watch the TV series. It seems pretty unanimous that everybody's like, oh, the TV series is way better. Way, way, way better. Yeah. So, I don't know, maybe I'll give that a try sometime. Kate's been enjoying it so far, so maybe I'll try to catch up to it.
Should.
I think I'm with you. I think about a 6.5.
6.5.
For me is where this thing is going to sit. Pretty good one to kick off our month of No Vampire.
Oh, yeah.
Next week, we're going to be talking about one of the all-time heavyweight champs of vampire movies.
Interview with a vampire.
Oh, my Lord. This is one that, like, I'm shocked we haven't done.
Well, it's not been up for vote for No Vampire, and we don't really do vampire movies outside of No Vampire. I wonder why we didn't put it up for vote before.
I don't know. I'm not really sure about
crazy.
it. Yeah.
Huh. But, yeah, I'm excited, and it's a good intro for Twilight, too.
Oh, my God.
Because Twilight definitely stole so much from it.
Bastardizes so much from it. So, yeah, that'll be good to watch that, and then later on in the month,
I'm just seeing this
Twilight.
entire month as an intro to Twilight.
Yeah. I'm seeing my whole career as a podcaster so far as an intro to Twilight, you know? Yeah, so that'll be a fun one. So be sure to tune in for that next week. You guys, if you enjoy the show, do us two huge favors. Go on iTunes, rate and review those 5-star reviews on iTunes. Really helps this podcast show up in the searches, and your dollar papers through Patreon help us keep this thing going and buy cool merchandise and all kinds of other stuff.
Yeah, and also we have t-shirts still available. I think we're about halfway through them.
Nice.
I think we ordered about 60. So,
I mean, what do you want to be, not cool?
Yeah, are you trying to be not cool out there? Is that what's going on?
Is that the deal? You want to be one of those uncools?
Oh,
no, you want to be cool.
I'm one of the extreme sizes. I want a small. You probably don't have those.
Oh, we do.
We do. We got four left.
Uh-huh.
We got some triple XLs.
All are welcome.
Well.
All are welcome. So be sure to drop us an email at
dadandlovelypod@gmail.com.
Yeah.
And you can pay us on PayPal. Just email with your size, or email with your order. I will send you back a total with the shipping, and then you can pay us on PayPal, and I will have it out the next business day. Everybody's been getting everything within a couple days, so
I'm loving these pictures people have been putting up of them wearing them shirts. Everybody's looking like either a hunk or a fox.
or both.
Yeah, foxy hunk.
That Tim Stone.
Foxy hunk.
He's a foxy hunk.
Definite foxy hunk. We all know that. It is known. So you guys be sure to hit us up, get a shirt, solve your upper nudity situation. We're going to help you out with that. Well, you guys have been fantastic. We have been dead and lovely. Thank you guys so much for listening. Hope you guys are having a wonderful month of No Vampire, and we will catch up with you next time.
Mother, tell your children not to walk my way. Tell your children not to hear my words. What a fool, what is there, Mother?
We'll see you all next time.
Bye.
Bye.